Hello and welcome everyone to the finals of the Random Cup tournament match today between dk9146 and BobPineappleMD. We started out with 37 runners had 195 runs through submitted, and now we are here to the final match. I am Aaron TU2, and with me tonight is Malchior. Welcome.
Hey, thanks a lot, Aaron. Brand new here to the Dragon Warrior scene. I'm excited to see. I'm going to see what is not new in that we're going to randomize everything and see who can survive.
Yes, we're going to be in for some craziness. Like, every flag that we were willing to tri-state is tri-stated. Like, I think we don't have Noir mode. I double-checked on that one, so thankfully for all of our eyes, we don't have that. And we still have menu wrap, but other than that, pretty much anything is up for grabs, except for, like, the victory condition. We do have to beat the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, so help a newcomer out. What do you mean when you say tri-state?
Terminology means that until we see it on the screen, we don't know if the flags are on or off. Although there are a few flags where that actually checks for every individual thing, like if Summer Sale will be applied to every single item instead of on or off overall. But for the most part, we're just looking at them broadly.
Well, we are underway. Already we have invisible NPCs and invisible heroes. And an atrocious start in stats, opening up with some gold, a torch, and key. So, no easy start this time around.
And I believe that means that we have vanilla chest placements as well, the rewards in theirs. So, depends if there's a nearby town, you can get a hand axe, that'll be pretty good. We do have random chest locations on, however, though. So, outside of those first three, and oh my gosh, that is the worst for a start.
This looks pretty vanilla to me with that wall.
Yeah, you do not want to see Tantagel starting in the Cantlin location. That is gross. But we'll see what happens. It looks like the enemies might be vanilla just because the slime looks pretty weak. And we have vanilla rewards. So...
Oh, everything's vanilla! Strap yourselves in, folks. This is gonna be a while.
Yeah, the vanilla zones, that one's a little tricky because I think we already saw a Magidrake, but I can't remember exactly where the borders are. And it is very likely that it probably isn't vanilla zones because of that.
You know, with 4 strength and only 15 HP, they're not taking on a Magidrake anytime soon. I mean, look, he can barely hit this ghost. It's gonna be slime grinding for the first, 3 to 4 minutes.
And that is a point brought up in chat. We do have a torch. We'll probably see a save here if he's thinking, just to make sure that torch actually hits the enemies. And if it does, you can take out a ghost and, sneak in for experience. I think ghost is as high as you can get to more or less have an automatic kill. There is a slim chance that it won't kill it in one go.
Pretty much, we're just trying to get that opening 7 XP to get the first level and see if this is going to be... Okay, Drakey can work. We can deal with a Drakey, perhaps. Come on, toss the torch.
You'd have to get pretty lucky to get the Drakey luck here, I think. I'm pretty sure that the ghost is exactly...
Oh no, you can't use torches in battle!
Alright, so it's regular slimes and maybe red slimes, but we haven't seen any of them yet.
We lied to y'all. This is not random %. We just tossed up, the vanilla game and hacked it a little bit to start them in Cantlin. Enjoy your any % run.
Yeah, so we can just kind of settle down and rest here for a little bit. This could take quite a while, and the reason why I say that is because vanilla starting stats means vanilla growth, and you don't get very many stats early on in this game.
Yeah, so talk to me, Aaron. Are you familiar at all with the speedrun of the vanilla game without, RNG manipulation?
Well, I'm aware it exists, but there's not too much you can do with that here unless you find, exactly... Because I think to do RNG manipulation, you have to save and then kind of operate off of that to do it in the randomizer at least, which means it would work. I'm more like
give us an average window of how long we're gonna be here.
If anyone gets to the next town within 30 minutes, I will be surprised.
Oh, good gracious. So, buckle up, everybody. Here we go. Who's gonna get that first level 2? Right now, all these enemies are giving our players no quarter. We're just looking for some slimes.
That is a good point from Beta Strip again. I think he might be our expert vanilla speedrunner here in chat, but the experience that the enemies give is still increased. It is not increased a whole lot for the low-level enemies. Like, we're not going to see a ton of difference, but you don't need a ton of difference to make a difference.
3 more slimes for Bob, and he'll have his first level. DK is also looking for 3 more slimes.
And yeah, and then another point, we don't know if spells are vanilla or not. If we see a bunch of MP drop in level 2, we know that it isn't, because the MP always pops in at least 8 when you first get a spell. I think that even overrides vanilla, but here we go. We'll see if anything pops up for DK. And nope.
Yikes. That was 1 strength and 7 hit points. That is it.
And there was a thought that kind of popped into my head that maybe people might want to basically re-roll their character and pick something that isn't a strength HP build. Maybe switch off of strength entirely to get that extra 2 points. That will help out specifically here at the beginning, but that's probably it. Actually, after that, once you get into like the mid-teens, that doesn't matter so much anymore.
Now that each of our runners have been going at it for 5 minutes, I don't foresee any resets at this point. Probably could have done it within that first minute, but they're just gonna commit to this, fight some slimes until they're no longer good enough, and then fight some drakies, and then we're just gonna try and get to probably level 4 or something before we can try and find our first town. And that's only if the stats are kind.
Well, level 5, if this is vanilla spell learning, which I would say right now we're kind of leaning towards. If it is, I think level 5 is where you get hurt, and that's when you can pretty much kill all the enemies in this beginning area. But
yeah, that would do it.
But we're kind of out of luck until then. You could possibly at level 3 with heal, you know, cross the swamp, cross your fingers, and hope for something useful, but you know, you'd have to define useful. The one positive thing we've seen, even though it's almost certain we have vanilla chest rewards, we do have shuffled chests. So it's possible that, like, say the next town is Remolder, and there is potentially one unkey blocked chest in there that could have a key or something like that.
Yep, and keeping the gold totals high could be very important, because just getting to Remolder and getting 1 key could get you to the Bat Cave of Tangical Castle, could get you into the Treasury. Minimizing deaths could be a key play here. You're gonna take some deaths regardless, but
I like that. Minimizing deaths is the key play.
there you go, my man. Oh, now we got a red slime. This will give a little extra XP. There we go. 2 versus 1. I mean, hey,
I think it is. Actually, no, I don't think so. I think the zone border is right on that western wall of Tantagel. Maybe I should open a vanilla map while I'm over here, just in case.
Yeah, so it looks like Bob has currently found a little loophole, being able to find the edge of the zone and finding red slimes, where DK is kind of sticking in the middle and only finding the regular, so Bob will get an early XP advantage. I say that, but now DK has also found the same red slimes. They're even at 14 experience apiece.
Good deal. And that it was brought up by a beta again in chat. Hurt is actually level 4, which is a huge boon because the experience difference between 4 and 5 is like 47, and that would, you know, just see how long this has taken.
I'm pulling up my vanilla map just to be abreast of the situation.
And we do not have vanilla spells on after all. DK just learned Hurt at level 3, so there is something non-vanilla about the start.
Very key knowledge.
Yeah, now he can take on those scorpions, and that's probably the enemy he's going to be looking for right now. Most experience you can get where you have a chance to one-shot them with that spell. Drakey is not bad either, but we've already seen them cast Hurt, which I believe is also a vanilla thing, so it's quite possible we have vanilla spells on the enemies, at least.
Now we're cooking. 2 agility, 7 hit points, 9 magic, no strength on that level, but now with Hurt, we can start putting the hurt to this opening set of enemies.
We see Bob dipping in. He picked up level 3. I think he wants to maintain his gold, because if he does get out of here, the ability to survive and have some money to do something is pretty important, because once you get out of the zone, you don't want to come back. Not until you absolutely have to.
Scorpions, Drakemas, probably even skeletons if we find them in an adjacent zone or something. We want those early game enemies that have that 20 plus experience.
So if I recall right, you can get to all of the zones really easily here, because I think the borderlines for the zones areas are basically Cantlin's walls, the left side, well, vanilla Cantlin's walls, the left side and the south side. So you can get straight out of zone 1 and 2 if you really want to, but I don't know, if you had something better than Hurt, that might work. There's not a whole lot of enemies past zones 1 and 2, the beginning area zones, that Hurt can do a whole lot with what you got before you just get obliterated.
This is the first time I've ever looked at this vanilla overworld map, and oh my word, the towns are spaced far apart.
Yeah,
it's gonna take forever to get to where vanilla Hawkness is.
And we don't know what the zones look like. There could be armored knights, red dragons, you know, all sorts of fun stuff along the way. So we could be trapped here a lot longer than it seems. However, level 5 could also give us Hurt more, so...
This could be terrifying.
And this is the reward both of our players get for making it this far.
Yeah, I think they're gonna grind until they at least get a heal spell.
If he can take out the Scorpion, I believe that will be a level for Bob. He's not going to see a whole lot at level 4. We haven't seen it on DK's side already, but it is pushing forward a little bit. And yeah, at this point, it's grinding for something useful.
Yeah, knowing that they saw Hurt at 4, they're like, okay, thank goodness, at least spell shuffled. I would say we more than likely have Heal and Hurt before Heal More and Hurt More now, having seen that. So they just want that heal spell so they can get their exploration started.
I mean, I've seen seeds before where Heal and Heal More both came at 16.
Don't tell me about those things. I'm trying to get into this community. That's the number one thing that'll kick me out, man. That's terrifying.
I'm sure we're not going to see that today. It'll be fine. I do want to also add that with the low strength, the possibility of finding a metal slime early on could be huge, especially if the metal slime, scared and scaled flags are both off. That could be absolutely massive. So getting out of the zone to just check that might be worth it.
Here's an interesting thing. We've been talking about vanilla. We haven't seen any additional spells from the enemies. I think all of their abilities are vanilla as well.
Right, the only thing I've seen so far is Hurt on the Drakema, and that's vanilla behavior, so... Looks like DK is wandering into the zone west, trying to see if he can find something, although if he doesn't find anything, he might get greedy and just try to go to the next town.
It's still a far way away.
I think he was considering a run and, decided if he got hit too much or something, he was gonna cut back, and he did, and now he's just not, he's getting the luck that he wished he had initially.
Oh, this is all he wants. He just wants to keep finding more scorpions. So currently DK with the early XP advantage, 133 versus... We'll find out when Bob gives us an encounter.
And the way these things are rolling, even with a little bit of experience, it's... Again, there are so many enemies that once you get out of this first zone, it might not matter, that especially if we get hurt more fairly quickly. That's the one spell that would completely open this up right now. Heal would be nice, but everything else isn't going to do a whole lot for you just yet.
That is true, but we're talking about a slow start, so early advantages can just start to snowball ahead. Say if you get to Hawkness even just 5 minutes before your opponent, because DK is currently double Bob's experience. DK around 150, Bob currently around 78.
And with the zones, or with the vanilla map, this is definitely an advantage to DK, I would assume, as being a more experienced runner, to know where the zone lines are. It's quite possible that Bob doesn't know this, and is just kind of wandering around, not realizing he's in Zone 0.
Well, it seems Scorpions are in both Zones 0 and 1, so this could be fine for Bob. Just, I don't know if they're more prevalent in Zone 1 versus Zone 0. That level didn't give much, 433.
Well, we saw 6
without
on
heal,
DK side too. Still no spells.
Yeah, without heal, he still doesn't want to go to Hawkness. It's going to be a grind to get that heal spell. I mean, all I'm learning from watching this, I did a seed earlier today, getting ready for the tournament. And afterwards I'm like, you know, that was pretty fun. I wonder if I should try the vanilla game. Watching this, nope. Nope, I have too much to do with my life. Oh, we see Warlock now. DK has found another zone. Hurt to 16. There's a chance he could take this Warlock down. This would be a big boost.
Yeah, looking at 28 experience instead of the basic amount, but he rolled extremely high on hit points, has sleep,
and now he's asleep.
It's going to be a little painful. Yeah, he's not getting out of this one, unfortunately.
Oh, cheater! Sleeping is cheating.
Well, again, if this is a vanilla spell reactions, he would probably know. I imagine DK knows the vanilla spell interactions of enemies fairly well by now.
Yeah, he was really close. I think one more hurt spell would have taken out that Warlock. That would have been a very nice XP buff.
And just as a heads up, Chad is talking about how level 19 is probably going to be required with the way the stats work, just because the vanilla game backloads your stats tremendously. That's looking at 16,500 experience, so just keep that in mind.
Well, if I have to go to bed before this is done, I'm tapping someone else in, man. Blue Dragon! Oh no! Bye!
And DK efforts,
is trying to get the Hawkness.
He's trying to go over there, and in the meantime has let Bob completely catch up on the experience front. So if Bob continues to sit, DK continues to go. If he doesn't get something out of it, we advantage Bob. You also got to think Bob's probably thinking about moving along a little bit now.
Yeah. Demon Knight! Oh, at the bottom of this zone, it crosses with another one!
Yeah, the absolute bottom right corner here goes into a completely different zone. That's not zone 1 or 2, and that's not the enemy you want to see there. In fact, I'm not sure what he wants to see there, to be honest.
Yeah, it seems DK knew what he would find there. He just was hoping it was something he had a chance against. And Bob is about to learn the same thing. That's essentially zone nope, as the fun police are here to send you back to the castle. Both of them learning, alright, guess I gotta grind more.
Oh, yeah, that's some fun things to look forward to, too. Red Dragons with that 25% sleep, AK-47s with heal more and hurt more. I think Star Wyverns with heal more, so fighting them without hurt more, even with hurt more, is kind of gross. There's just going to be a lot of unfun enemies. And
The AKs have heal more and hurt more in the vanilla game.
yes, but
Sweet mercy.
But the alternative, or the thing with that is you only see the armored knights and the red dragons on the bottom zone of Sharlock. So they're basically there as a really nasty surprise right before the end of the game.
That's terrifying.
But hey, their stop spell resist is randomized regardless. So
the good news is, since we don't have randomized abilities, the only time you're finding Dragon Lord 2 Breath is at the Dragon Lord, so you're not just gonna get walloped for 70 out of nowhere.
Right, and there is one other thing to look forward to with what appears to be, again, vanilla chest rewards. I believe that means all of the overworld search areas are all going to be armor, flute, and token like they are in the vanilla game, unless
that's what I was thinking.
Those are turned off. Yeah, unless the Heartstones and token are just disabled, which is possible. We're not going to know that for a long time.
It will be interesting to find, and yeah, that's what I was thinking. Do you think Bob knows where in the swamp the token is without, like, Goylin's love?
Oh, see, that is still randomized, though. The location of the overworld spot is always randomized. I don't think that ever
Got it.
is the same.
Okay. Okay. Because I'm like, that is far away. I knew that much about the vanilla game.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be too bad considering it would just be south of where they are, but it would still take absolutely forever to get to.
Yeah, it's all blocked by mountain range.
Chat, considering all the absolutely terrible places that the sword or any of these other items could be. If we have Stair Shuffle on, which again, we're not going to know for a little while yet, if we happen to have Stair Shuffle on...
No, stop it!
There could be all sorts of torturous places. You might have to go through, 8 Sharlock floors, all with red dragons and whatever, and with sleep to get to the heart.
I was mentally prepared for just a vanilla run, and then you're like, but we haven't seen any stairs yet, and my heart sank. I mean, we could have short Sharlock, imagine that. I think the sword is just going to be in its vanilla spot, like just buried in Sharlock Castle.
Yeah, and if we're thinking about with our two competitors here, like what flags help one another, I don't think there's anything we've seen right now that really balances it. Stair Shuffle probably is going to help DK quite a bit, though, because I know he is extremely experienced with that. I think him and I have done enough of those races one-on-one to be really good at that. So on Bob's sake, we kind of hope that isn't the case. But we're nearing level 7. Level 7's experience requirement is 337. We'll see if we get any spells that can break us out of this beginning area prison.
Need that heal spell.
Oh man, comment in chat. Yeah, we're very happy that Permanent Repel is not on because, I mean, right now it wouldn't be that big of a deal because they have 12 agility, and it would just get rid of, some of the nonsense enemies that you don't really want to fight. But if we saw, actually no, I don't think that would matter too much now that I think about it, because you don't get a whole lot of agility early on here either, do you?
I mean, by the mid-game, it would start making things a little painful.
I will say, from a personal opinion, I'm glad that the experience and the enemy stats are the same, that they're both vanilla. Both vanilla or both chaos, not one or the other. That tends to be really crazy. There we go, level 7 hurt more. The seed suddenly opens up.
It is on like Donkey Kong. DK's gonna I'm gonna take a swamp death, I'm gonna go back, get my health, and then I might go to that bottom corner and just grind a bit. Let's go. Dragon, eat this. Demon Knight, hurt resists. Don't eat this.
Yeah, he might be looking for the Druid Lord, if anything, because that's a pretty good enemy for Hurtmore. But we'll see Bob get his level 7 in his Hurtmore spell here right now.
So, took 24 minutes to get here, but they're both pretty even. DK is making a run for Hawkness. Now, if we have our vanilla guard at Hawk, what would be that? That would be the Golem?
If it were vanilla, it would be the Axe Knight, but with vanilla zones, that means that the Guardians are randomized too, so it could be anything. Axe Knight is probably one of the better things I'd want to see, since that and the Green Dragon...
Oh yeah, Axe Knight is like single Hurtmore and goodbye.
Yep, and this encounter rate, watch as Bob Pineapple just walks right past DK, even though he got the level quite a ways behind him.
Neck and neck, right on top of each other. That's
Wolf.
a Hurtmore.
Oh yeah,
Take
double
it.
wolves going down. They're definitely going to take that one. That's the best enemy they could
They
see.
both rolled
the
the same damage on the Hurtmore.
Are we sure we're not recording the same person? Just kidding.
Yeah, right? Well, Bob takes the lead. DK trying to get away from a droll. Hawkness is in sight.
And it's
But it's cold.
Well, he's got a little
The
bit of
towns
money.
are shuffled, y'all.
Yeah, maybe we can get some armor. He's going to pick up the flute here, and we see that there is one chest inside of Cole. So there'll be a reason to come back. All of the shuffled chest locations, when chests appear in towns, are key locked, except for one of them in Remolder, which normally Remolder has one that's key locked in the first place. So I think that was
Ooh, that's some cheap hand axe, cheap copper sword. Do we have random prices? Or do we have summer sale?
That would be summer sale. Random prices I don't think applies to each item. I think that's all of them, if it's on or off. So you see Bob here, and yep, that's the flute. So if there was any doubt before, it's pretty much confirmed now. Vanilla rewards, which will only matter for 2 more items in the game.
Ooh, DK finds a gold man, and he gets it down. That is massive. If he can get that gold safely into Hawkness. Werewolf says nope.
Now, seeing Droll Magi right outside of town here, yeah, Bob looks like he's going to grind a little bit. Wolf Lords, these are great
this is a
Hurtmore
good
enemies.
grind.
With his hit points, with the abilities that they have, this seems fun. I mean, Stop Spell is not great when you can't block it and you're relying on Hurtmore, but, you can always run, I suppose.
I don't want to die. As soon as I get up, I mean, if he's got the gold, I buy that hand axe immediately. I don't want to lose this.
Well, I don't think he cares too much about the hand axe right now, just because he has Hurtmore. It's still definitely a good thing to possibly snag, but he might be looking more at the armor, because I think that's going to carry a lot more weight as you go along.
Oh, good point. Good point. Hurtmore is carrying everything right now.
Now, you don't necessarily want to completely ignore it, because even though your damage output is going to be horrendously low for a long time, even with the axe, just because of the way that strength works in the game, it could be nice to have, just in case you wind up at having to fight something on a spike to take down that doesn't hurt more.
Well, it's a good thing we got Hurtmore now, because this means we all might actually get to bed on time. Now we can start grinding away some of these mid-game enemies.
Yeah, and it looks like Bob is settling down in here. It's a big advantage to him, because it looks like DK is just not quite able to get over there, or did he just not go that direction? He's fighting
Oh my
wizards.
gosh, Lizard!
It looks like he's trying to find something better. Maybe he saw wolves and the Druid Lords and wants to deal with those, but man, Bob getting to this zone, just surviving there and taking out these enemies, this is a great zone for now, and it might be for a few levels.
Yeah, I can see Bob staying. Oh! Fun police! Never mind, you went one too far to the left. Heading home.
Yeah, oops. Yeah,
now we'll see if he can get back.
Yeah, assuming that's the same zone, that didn't work out so well for him. Nice 1 hit point kill, that wolf from DK, have to acknowledge it. Now he's going for the miracle run, and might get it. Might get ambushed by a Drakima. Oh my gosh. Looks like he just decided to take
Oh my goodness.
Probably the smarter move.
I survived. It terrified me. I made a risky play earlier today in one of my seeds. I survived with 1 hit point, like right before the Dragon Lord, and I had to like heal more up and use up all my herbs. And I'm like, ah! Anytime you get into mortal range, it just instant tension.
Right. That. Oh, blue dragon. So Bob's getting the luck that DK got his first attempt through here, and now he's starting to get sent back. We'll see if DK pushes on it or if he's going to try to squeak out 8. But he knows the stats aren't going to be wonderful. Like, you're not really getting anything stat-wise. HP is the one thing that's going to feel better than in some randos, and it's still not going to feel very good.
Correct. I think the most valuable thing to find is find a safe zone. Find a safe zone with mid-game enemies and nothing that's gonna come out of nowhere and just send you back to start. And hurt more away till you get 0 MP. Jump into a town or take a death fort back, and then do it all over again.
Yeah, and Bob looks like he's trying to test this bottom right zone, which, you know, Warlocks aren't terrible. Like, probably can go with those, but we also know that there's the Demon Knight down there, which is
and the Demon Knight is like
for a while.
Demon Knight is like what, 15 to 16 hurt more resists. And if I know they're there, I don't want to be in that zone.
Yeah, they in the vanilla speedrun, I think the Demon Knight serves some purpose, but you know, fighting them down because they're outside of the evade reasonably weak, but
it hit.
Hurt more and
It hit.
Oh my gosh! I guess he was just probably gonna die, and then, you know, it worked. We'll see if he. Oh, he's not gonna get a chance to do it again. Well, we'll see if he goes back there, if he just decides to move along.
I mean, that just means Bob's already used up all of his hurt more luck against red dragons or the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna try it again. I don't think he's not gonna get that sort of thing again, I don't think. But he might also be 1 square too high. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, I think the zone starts the area right below the wall there. Oh, my assumption, chat, is that Bob doesn't... Yeah, anything Bob knows about vanilla was probably in preparation for Winter League. I don't think he's done anything with that, really.
He's got to go down further, get into that bottom section. Oh, there we go. Warlock's okay. Still not really good enemies. You want to find Werewolf like DK has found. Oh, but Hurtmore didn't kill it. He has to use the second one.
Yeah, I mean, Werewolf, I guess you have to hurt more it, but it's basically ending your run one way or another. If it doesn't kill you, it almost kills you. And the Blue Dragon, he would have to get extremely lucky at max hit points to kill one of them.
Yeah, I know you can hurt more green dragons and one-shot them, but blue, it generally takes a hurt more and a swing.
Yeah, they have the 7 out of 16 resists, so them and Stoneman using Hurtmore on them is basically a sort of Hail Mary play. And hey, Red Dragon's chilling right next to Tantagel. That's wonderful.
I think the king should look into some of his defense policies. If red dragons are just kind of sitting outside, scoping the place out. The guards are inside cowering. It's like, we don't get paid enough for this, man. Dragons can fly. Who cares if there's walls? Here we go. They're both making another attempt on the Hawkness run. Just saying, please no fun, police. Please no fun, police. Oh,
All
Bob
right,
gets the single hurt more kill on the werewolf. Rolled lower on HP that time. First to level 9. 8 strength. That's like one of the first significant ups we've seen yet.
And we also see armored knights in this zone. Wonderful. I think the thing to note about this, we're excited. Hey, not vanilla spells. That's great. We're at level 9 and we have 2. That's very unusual.
Yeah, this is painful. Goes for the Hortmore on the blue dragon. Fire breath. Oh, it's alive! Bob might kill this. Nope. Close, but no cigar.
It's an interesting strategy to try to kill it. I don't know if he just didn't think he had a chance to run away. I mean, their agility is terrible, and the way that the run formula in this game really, really penalizes you if your agility isn't like equal to the enemies. But yeah, Blue Dragon still has like an operative 42 agility for running, so his 22. He was probably somewhere in the 20% or less chance to get away.
I will say, for obviously our slow start, thankfully we got hurt more when we did. The levels here have still been kind of equivalent to what you would find in a regular randomized seed. If you did like start with armor or sword in the throne room, this has still been kind of on par for leveling. The stat gains have not been on par though. That's just vanilla showing vanilla.
And mentioned by chat, by our tournament organizer, Brian Williams, it does seem like the alternate run algorithm is off. If it was on, it would be a lot easier to run away from enemies in the overworld. And what I said about the Blue Dragon's effective run rate is if we're operating with the normal run algorithm. Yeah, basically all it does is, instead of each monster having a multiplier attached to them by the game, it to the run ability, it takes it from the monsters and puts it in the zone they're in. So, like, running away from anything in Sharlock would be made tremendously more difficult, whereas Overworld would be a whole lot easier. And caves are generally more difficult, unless it's a red something.
Yeah, I played one seed with alternate run algorithm once, not really knowing that I did it. And I think I shot everyone that was watching me when I ran away from a red dragon on the overworld.
Yeah, as far as the presets, the randomizer go, it's part of the easy standard, which I have thoughts about, but I think it makes the early to mid part of the game is generally easier, and then the end of the game, it really just depends. If your agility isn't super high, it's going to hurt.
Bob can't. Woo! Bob got stop spelled and couldn't hurt more the Wolf Lord. I hated to interrupt you, but he's trying. He's so close to Hawkness.
Enemy every step, but it's the right enemy if he's going to see one. Guaranteed kill, and the lowest agility of the enemies in the area, so the less likely he's going to get ambushed. But oh, there's the red dragon.
Oh no! No! He was 3 squares away.
I mean, it would have been funny if Bob managed to get the coal twice before DK got there once.
Oh, that's right. DK hasn't even made it. He's closing in.
He got
DK's
it.
DK's like, oh, thank heavens, it's not Hawkness.
He's struggling a little bit with the invisible hero. We've seen a bit of bonking on either side, so they might not be taking advantage of any sort of little cheats here and just pulling it straight up. Now he's...
Yep.
There's somebody... No, okay. He just really couldn't figure it out. There we go.
He does have more money than when Bob first came here. Half plate's gonna be hard to get to, is what you really want. You're gonna go ahead and buy a hand axe.
Buys the hand axe, doesn't buy the shield. He might be thinking about the money for the end, but misses the flute, and he gets it. Insert DK's no flute emote.
I agree with Brian. I saw the Goldman on the way to Cole. Trick is, they were very rare. I've only seen like 2. Bob found 1 and DK found 1. And then you still have to survive the Fun Police to get into Coal. I like this area right next to Coal that DK's in. This is a good zone.
And it looks like Bob has almost made it there, and there's the Red Dragon again. And nope, Red Dragon says time to take a nap, and I'm just gonna set you on fire, I guess.
He wants his meat well rested and well roasted before he chomps down on it.
It's a merciful Red Dragon, doesn't want you to experience the pain, wants to put you down. Well, you know, never mind. Getting a little too graphic here.
I mean, I think you're on it.
And DK gets the bad news. This whole time, he's been in the Red Dragon zone.
I mean, let's take a look at them. What do Red Dragons do in the vanilla game? There you go, 25% sleep, 25% fire. This is what's stopping us from getting to Hawkness, or Coal, every time.
But this is still, even with that stuff, it could be an appealing enemy to fight later. Honestly, if you were thinking stop spell strats or something like that, it could be better. I would say overall that makes the Red Dragon a little bit more annoying than normal, but the weak breath almost cancels out the sleep, I think, for a late game grind.
I would agree. At the end, we could definitely be looking at a... Speaking of stop spell, Bob gets stop spell at level 10. At the end, we could be looking at a Red Dragon grind, but I feel they'll just be grinding on whatever is that Swamp Spike tile, or whatever is that Hawkness Spike tile, because... Dude, if you take a death and you come all the way back here to Cantlin, oh my gosh. Forever walk back to wherever you were trying to make progress.
It's interesting to see Bob keep kind of hovering in this zone. I'd almost... Like, I wouldn't be surprised right now if I see both Bob and DK, when they come back, hug the west and try to stay out of this zone entirely and see if they can make another town.
Oh, Gold Man! Oh, he didn't want it! I'd have probably killed that Gold Man with a hurt more to get, like, the 500 plus gold. Probably could have gotten half plate off of that. Yeah, he could have.
And that would have been
Gold
really
Man gets
useful right
550. He's gonna heal up. Maybe he'll find the Gold Man when he's outside. Where are we going? We getting some berry water?
Might be trying to get some herbs. We still don't have any healing whatsoever, and he might think it's necessary to get beyond this zone.
Good point. Yeah. Herbs is the play for BobPineappleMD.
He might consider grabbing a torch. I mean, he has one. Might consider getting the dragon scale. Wings, I mean, there's a real quick way to get back to Tantagel that anybody can do right now, which is just dying, so...
Yeah, no problem with that. Personally, I want 1,000 gold. I want half plate before I do anything else on the overworld. That would be my approach. And this Gold Man is glad to abide, like, to show. Thank you very much, Gold Man. DK, get in that town before you die.
He tried. It's not the easiest thing to find. The walk from Hawksness to the rest of the map is a little bit long. I would say it's probably about on par with the Cantlin walk, but we do have Vanilla Mountain Cave coming up here pretty quick, which I don't know exactly where Bob is going, but I would assume that's the next place.
DK will get the half plate and increase his defense by... Shoot, I'm still new to this. Alright, wait, I'll go look at my chart.
It's,
Don't tell me. I'm learning.
Sorry.
16 defense. You're good. Don't worry about it.
And Remolder, that's a good one. That's,
Fantastic.
E-Access. I think he's still got a little bit of money, too, so he'll be able to buy a few of them. Maybe there's something interesting in the town. There is possibly a free chest that he can get to here with the random chest locations put on.
How in the world did he get here? Where did he walk from?
That is in the Vanilla Mountain Cave location. So it's the next one.
Oh, wow. He went far fast.
Yeah, it's not nearly as far as Cantlin to Hawksness and as far as the vanilla stuff goes, but it does take a bit of time. So you can leave the town, go back in, and we'll see if there's anything interesting item-wise here.
Oh, there's the chest behind the double door.
Checking the alternate chest location here in the town hall and finds it. No treasure guard. We're going to be looking for that on every single chest that gets opened. All of the 5 generally required items can have treasure guards. We haven't seen any of those yet, though. I don't think they can ever pop up on a flute in the death necklace.
Got it, got it. Well, there's Fighter's Ring.
Particularly useful in this because strength being so low, any additional attack power you can get is going to be somewhat weighty.
There is a slow grind available for Bob if he were to... And with the prices the way they are, he might do it for half plate. If he leaves the town and comes back in and goes to that town hall again, that chest will be respawned, and he could essentially just go back and forth till he got enough money to buy his first piece of armor.
Might be worth it. I'm not saying go to the magic armor, but well, he could get one more for a broadsword, and that's going to carry you most of the game. And you won't really have to worry about shots.
I prioritize armor over attack because they still have hurt more. Get that half plate at least, and if you want to get a weapon to go along with it, just take an extra minute going in and out of the town a couple times.
Yeah, if it involved having to get a key, it would be particularly annoying. But no, he's not doing that. Looks like he is going to bolt and try to get to, I'm guessing, the vanilla coal location. It's rare that people skip that when they go through this way, but I think there's a lot more reward if you actually go east, but then you might miss something really important up here in the corner, so.
I don't know if we can get the vanilla coal. My map is showing the closest spot from here would be Garretham to the north.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. I forget what the towns are called.
It's all good, no worries. We're all flying by the seat of our pants tonight. Oh, here we go. I'll tell you what Bob is getting, a one-way ticket back to Cantlin, i.e. Tactical Castle. That is a long run.
I get the feeling he's not too upset about it, though. Throwing out that hurt more instead of running when he was basically guaranteed.
Yeah, he's got the keys. He's gonna get to see what's in the treasury.
We've seen a lot of gold, and we haven't seen any key items yet. I'm kind of wondering, if I had to play odds right now, I would say we're probably looking at that being off.
Well, I say we're gonna need Hawkness, and we're gonna need to do the overworld search.
Yeah, there's been so much gold. We do see a cave in the top west corner. We haven't seen one of those yet. Looks like Bob is going to replenish his keys. He is not going to check that, and I think... Oh, permanent torch is off. I forgot that could be an option. And it looks like DK's found Tablet Cave, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any enemies. No, south. What? Is this Stair Shuffle? Where? No, this is Tablet. This is Tablet Basement 2.
So far it looks vanilla. We'll check one more just to make sure. Bob finding Swamp underneath. This could be actually really huge for him because there's a couple of chests. Plus, we could have a Hurtmore grind set up in here.
A Hurtmore grind or a gold grind?
Well, I don't think there's enough chests between what he's seen to do anything with the gold, but he could get some Hurtmore. And we do see a cursed belt.
Wait, gets away from the blue dragon. Wait, how is there a blue dragon? Is Bob not in Tablet Cave like DK?
No, he was underneath Tantagel. He went swamp, and he is now on the second continent.
My goodness.
And immediately killed by the Demon Knight. But again, it'll be interesting to see if he goes in and checks that, because if you find an Axe Knight or a Green Dragon down there, it might be worth just trying to kill them for a few levels, especially since the Death Warp from failing is so short.
Yeah, Bob spawned over on the far end at Vanilla Remold, And I don't know, like, how did DK end up all the way up at Erdrix? Did he walk here?
Yeah, he managed to go all the way to the northwest where Tablet Cave was, and then just walk down here. It's actually two of the closer areas.
Ah,
in the
Tablet
game.
was at Garrettsham. Got it. Well, Cantlin is definitely a place you want to be if you got the cash. Cash a little light on DK right now.
We'll see if he buys some torches too. I have a feeling he's not going to want to do everything in the dark, especially with random chest locations. And I think we just saw that the grind tile under here is a red dragon, which is not great. Maybe good later, but not good now. He ran away. I think he's maybe just thought maybe he should just die instead.
Yeah, well, yep. We might be coming back to that red dragon for some grinding later with just the 25% baby breath and 25% sleep. We really don't have a lot of good healing, so we can't reliably check the coordinates yet.
He could get in there with the herbs. He has enough to get in. He probably doesn't have enough to get out, and is prioritizing his positioning right now. The good thing about coordinates in the vanilla map is that there are ways you can look it up without having to resort to any sort of counting or to finding the princess. So we're probably not going to see a princess grab unless somebody is not prepared for that, or if they just really want to play it like any other sleuth.
Here we have Breck at Tangigal Castle's vanilla location. DK has made himself to essentially near the middle of the world. And Charlock is still at Charlock, no problems.
Yeah, that one stays the same. It could be fun if it didn't. I saw him go up, I think, which means this is probably Grave.
I was gonna say Grave. I saw him go into the side, and I know if you go to the side, Grave opens in the middle.
And he is leaving. I think he has no desire to try to do that without any sort of torch. And yeah, he's coming back and he's going to buy some torches. With random chest locations, it's a huge problem to go in there without at least that.
Yeah, Grave is massive, and with random chest locations, you need to be able to see at least a little bit to know, like, what you're searching for. Also, he needs to be fully prepared, because if he dies, it's all the way back to Tantagial on the other continent.
Well, he might think it's pretty
bad,
but
it's the same continent, but it's forever away.
Star Wyvern with the hurt more. You can take these down. Oh, it didn't proc the heal more, so that's nice. Or is it the Magi Wyverns? I can never remember which one has the heal more. Either way, it's a decent enemy to find, especially with Breck right nearby. That you could just pop in and get a full heal whenever you felt like it. And yeah, he looks like he's heading for the hills.
Now, he does not want the Grave yet. He does not want to take a long run. Oh, okay, he was. He was just finding where he was.
No, I think I think probably what happened is he just remembered the Stone Man in the zone and decided that maybe it's not worth it. And I guess it's Mountain.
That's not great. That is Mountain. That is the one you want to find.
Yeah, and if there was any doubt about Stair Shuffle, I think that confirmed that Stair Shuffle is off. That
Thank
was a
goodness.
vanilla result.
Oh, back home we go! That is a very painful death for DK. Golly.
Bob's checking the coal locations, finding the herb in that chest. You know, the fact that I've been saying this, the fact that we haven't seen the harp or the stones anywhere yet, and we've seen so much gold, really makes me think that we have open Charlock on. But there's no way to tell that until we get to basically east of the Vanilla Tantasia location. There's a small way to check over there, but it just seems like it's more likely than not, considering the results so far.
Yeah, the one cave I want to see, which will take some effort to get, to go all the way through Mountain Cave and get the like 4 or 5 chests that are in there. That'll tell a pretty big story as to what left do we have to search.
And to bring back up something that was mentioned earlier, this still involves the possibility of Erdrick's sword being in some convoluted, annoying place in the Sharlock basement. Because with the way that the shuffled chests work, it still tends to prioritize Sharlock a lot for them. It's rare that Sharlock has less than 7 chests because of how many possible locations there are. And basically, none of them are particularly nice, with the exception of one that I think is in the vanilla sword split room.
So, Aaron, are you saying we could have both armor and sword in Sharlock?
No, the armor is going to be in Hawksnest. I think that's guaranteed. But sword, very well, could be in a really annoying spot. And we're talking about having to grind to 19 just to be able to kill the Dragon Lord with the sword. I don't know how many more levels you'd have to go without it. So if it's in a fun place down there, you know, it might be quite a search. It also could just be first chest and mountain. So.
Well, at this point, Eric, Hawkness is going to be at the Vanilla Rainbow Drop Cave, out in the middle of freaking nowhere.
Well, if that's the case, DK
DK
might find it pretty quickly.
He's going up. He wants to go see Swamp Cave, Vanilla Swamp Cave, first. So, I said it was out in the middle of freaking nowhere, but if Swamp exits out to Remolder, then this ain't bad.
We see another cave here. We've already seen Tablet, so that leaves Stones and our 2 trade-ins and Grave as possibilities. I don't think DK has any torches, though.
Freebie Cave.
Oh, right, that's what I meant by the Stones Cave.
Yeah, I'm dumb, so I just call it, hey look, free chest on the floor.
Yeah, we have all sorts of fun terminology in this game that some people use and some don't. So, like, Judge's Table being a common one, and that is definitely Grave. I'm 100% sure.
Yep.
No mistakes.
Yep, I saw him go down. Definitely the Grave.
And he is right on the verge of gaining another level. We'll see. I don't think he wants to do it. He really doesn't want to do these dungeons in the dark.
I kind of don't mind this shuffle chest thing. I feel like the veterans are brought more to my level.
Just every round before this, Permanent Torch was locked on, and shuffle chest locations makes diving without at least that Perma Torch just ultra painful. But now we see DK picking up level 11. Maybe we'll get another interesting spell.
5, 4, 8, 9.
No spells.
We're just gonna get all
at 11. This is great.
We're gonna get 8 spells at level 16. There's only 7 spells remaining. The game is going to invent an 8th spell to give them at level 16.
So let's see.
Yeah,
we've seen Remolder, Breckenary, Cantlin, Cole. What towns are we missing yet? We've seen that town across the way. If that's Hawksness or...
we're missing Hawkness, and we've seen Cantlin, so that's
Grinham, I suppose.
Garenham. So that cave, which would be Swamp North and Vanilla, is either Garenham or Hawks, and you need both of them. And that location is really far away.
Bob trying to hurt more the wizard. Again, that kind of feels like a, let's just see if this works sort of thing. But wizards are also 15 to 16 resistant to hurt more. And they're not a guaranteed one-shot with it either.
Yeah, it seems like a desperation play. Oh, we get a crit on the red dragon! And it only does 41.
Oh, I was hoping.
If that hurt more, if that hurt more landed, it would have been the hypest thing ever.
Oh man, imagine with 57 AP critting a red dragon and then using hurt more and still not killing it, because that very well could have happened too. But I think that was him checking to see what that grind tile was. Again, the red dragon is not really what you want to see now. It might be more useful later on,
Nope.
but if the sword is buried somewhere, probably not looking to fight that thing for maybe the entire game.
Now, if we could get runners making their way back to Mountain Cave, which, shoot, was over at Vanilla Erdrick's, do you think it'd be viable to just take a death there so that you have a gold grind set up at the castle? You could get a flame sword if you get back to Hawksness, which is coal, because we saw a flame sword there, and you could get full plate.
No, I think Cole... I believe our item locations are actually vanilla, and Cole had the magic armor, but I think as high as it went was the hand axe. The only place we're going to see the flame sword and silver shield is Cantlin, and that's a heck of a walk to keep that money. Like, even if you save scum it, it's gonna suck.
That is true. Oh, we get a look. It's the freebie cave at the Rainbow Drop Cave, and our freebie is Womp Womp.
You know, I doubt he's terribly upset about that. He's been wanting a torch anyway, and it might.
I'm gonna need this. Old man's like, I heard your chests were shuffled. Take this.
Yeah, why didn't I would have been surprised if he left and went right back in and grabbed another one, since it's such a quick grab.
That is the 300 IQ play. I would never think of, but yes, you should do it.
Alright, now we're switching options here. Bob, tired of dying in the overworld, is going back through Swamp, whereas DK, finding that he has Grave, and that's about it on the eastern side, is deciding to try to push back through and find something at this point.
Yeah, so if Bob makes it through Swamp, which the Blue Dragon's gonna make it hard for him.
Bob
rolled low on the fire. Come on, Bob. Come on, Bob.
It says double.
He got it. And he gets a level from it, level 11. Tilo, the story is, do you like vanilla? Because it's all vanilla, except for the locations are shuffled with each other, and the chest locations are shuffled. Outside of that, vanilla, vanilla, vanilla.
Yes, we have shuffle chest locations, but we have no permatorch. We have, which is, I think, causing DK some headaches right now specifically, and probably about to cause Bob some as he's going to head over to Grave. And maybe he's trying to hurt more again on the Demon Knights. That's scary. I maybe he was hoping if you throw two of them, decent odds to land one.
Yeah, that's a hope and a prayer. Perfect kill there. 29 of 29 HP.
So he's getting back to. He didn't get a much. He got the blue dragon kill to gain the level, but the level didn't really do anything, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, that's another thing, Tilo. We start in Cantlin. Vanilla Cantlin. Out in the middle of nowhere. So any death is a long way back.
And if you see our deaths, we have a lot of them. This is not surprising considering everything that's going on, but we're an hour in. It's not looking like we're going to be done in another hour unless we find something really nice to grind, but in vanilla, there really isn't. That isn't really a thing.
I'm foreseeing we'll have around 50 deaths per player before this thing ends.
Alright. DK probably personally aggrieved at having to use that fairy flute to survive the golem, but he's out of there. If we saw a golem
Does he
on the
not
tile,
like using the flute? Does he not like using the flute because of the 2D time?
He has an emote that is a flute with a circle and a line through it.
Well, DK's hand axe is making some work. Bob might want to pick up a weapon at some point soon. I know Hurt More is doing a majority of the lifting, but having a little backup could save you some MP. Red dragons don't care though. They're just gonna say, go back to start. Oh, he gets away!
So we're missing 3 locations that we have not seen so far, and they are the Staff of Rain Cave, the Jerk Cave, and Hawk's Nest. And Grinham, excuse me, because yeah, one of them has to be under Grinham. So there's some reason to keep pushing here, but really gaining experience right now might be the most important thing. Of course, if you do find Hawk's Nest, that hurt more. If you get the right enemy there, getting the armor would be huge.
Yeah, what I am anticipating is Hawk's Nest is at Swamp North. Garenham is at Staff of Rain Cave. And back of Garenham is the Silver Harp Trade-In to get the Staff of Rain.
I'll point out again, we do not know if Charlock is open or closed yet because we haven't seen any of those items. Now, DK heading over here.
Get there.
Yeah, he might be checking a coordinate call here in a little bit. Looks like the way he's moving. Now, I think he's going to grab some keys. Or maybe. I can't tell what he's doing. I think that invisible NPC is blocking the door.
Yeah, that is incredible. He's there now.
Makes it through.
Watch your money. Watch your money. You might. No, it'll be like what 1,500 for full. Though full plate didn't hit the summer sale. Unfortunate.
Yeah. Seeing Flame Sword not get that too is a bit of a problem. However, we have a money grind available that isn't super bad, and it's not the one that takes you in through Tantagel either. You can just go in and out of Remolder and get that free chest for 600-ish a pop if you really want.
I'm surprised no one did that. I would have done that to upgrade some of my stuff, at least for a little bit, knowing how painful this overworld is.
And correct me if I'm wrong, vanilla players, but I seem to think agility winds up being higher in vanilla than it normally is in Rando. So the defense count and possibly using repel in dungeons, which we don't know if that flag is on or off, could be an option, which could weight the silver shield pretty high.
Well, they're both in the same area, both in Cantlin. Large shield 379, that feels good.
Alright, we're packing the same defense now. Bob's still running around without a weapon, but there isn't really much reason to have one right now either.
Neither of them interested in coordinates yet, because, frankly, you won't be able to survive to get back out. And they know what a death means.
And they don't know right now if it's even going to be anything, because if there is, it's the token, unless there is no, unless we have open Charlock, and then there's nothing. So there isn't really a reason to push it yet. I mean, except that knowledge. And what does that help you?
Aaron, I hate Demon Knights so much. It feels I could be level 17 in-game, and I still can't run from Demon Knights.
Yeah, Demon Knights and Wizards are those enemies in the overworld that sometimes, depending on your build, you're really happy to see, and sometimes you're really annoyed. And with Hurtmore being our play, really annoyed is leading right now. But yeah, so we'll know about Open Charlock here in just a moment.
Here we go. Bob's gonna get our coordinates. There's no one there.
He is
my dude.
He's on the other spot.
He's on the other tile. Come here, my dude.
Lead. He needs that guy to walk back to have a chance at doing it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to take extra damage. Come here, my dude. Here we go. Now let's go fight!
Open
oh my
Charlock.
gosh, everything is going to be in Charlotte.
So yeah, at this point, it's maybe you want to grab that flame sword, maybe you want to do that gold grind, because that could be really important. And did Bob fall one step short? What's he doing?
No. Are you out of herbs, my man? Did the cat grab his controller?
Subtle manipulation for later, maybe?
I know one thing, he didn't want to die. What? Bob has the information now that at least they won't have to do the search spot. Which means really just hawk this. And we've seen no required items yet. I'm inclined to believe in you. I think we have an open Charlock. But it's going to be a pain to get there. If we wanted to take the shortest route possible to Charlock, which Bob seems to be doing, you have to take Swamp Cave down here, pop out at Vanilla Remolder, survive walking through the Red Dragons and Demon Knights to get over to Charlock Castle in the middle of the world.
Alright, we see DK into Grave. Wizard's not the enemy you want to see again. All you have are herbs to heal. You have a hand axe and a total of 57 AP. So fighting them is gross. Plus, they have hurt more. So you don't really want to fight them anyway.
Okay, confirming from chat, with vanilla searches and no coordinates, meaning nowhere to get the key items we'd be looking for, we should have confirmation of an open Charlock. Which tell me, Aaron, at knowing everything that this seed is now set up for, is that a good thing or a bad thing? What do you think these, at least Bob with the knowledge, if he figures out open Charlock, what does that do to his play?
Absolutely nothing at this point. He's still going to want to dig all of Mountain and all of Grave before you do anything else. Because that sword could be randomly anywhere, and wow. So all of Grave had one chest, by the way, top floor, but there's still 4 potential locations. So yeah, not surprised that DK is going to dive this. Normally you don't really want to dive Grave if you can avoid it, but it's a little bit higher priority.
I hate always having to go into the back of Grave. I will even when I'm doing my official runs, I will prioritize Grave as one of the last caves I check for stuff.
Anybody who's going to go up against Malchior in the summer tournament, keep that in mind.
Well, see, I did this with Zelda too, dude. I can say something on the microphone and make it public, and that gives me every excuse to switch up my play next time.
Right, that is a good point. So what we have left is potential locations here in Grave. There is one chest down here by the bottom right corner. Then there's the normal, what you would call vanilla 4th chest location. Okay, that one was a dud. Then we have the normal vanilla harp location. Then there's also one that you have to go inside of the square room, that second floor of Grave to get to, which is actually pretty quick once you go in there, but if he had Radiant, he could actually snipe that from the 5th chest location, but he doesn't, so he's not going to be able to tell.
Oh, we got one here. That is not insignificant. Herbs can keep you alive in here. He was out of herbs, so that is actually a very big find. Yeah, that sucks with the shuffle chest locations. Having to check all these stairs that you normally skip in the Grave.
And what makes it fun, too, is that we know we have vanilla locations or vanilla rewards, excuse me. So you know, and we got another Demon Knight. We're just gonna put the Fun Police hat on the Demon Knight today because it's just stopping everybody in their tracks.
Yeah, if Red Dragon is the Fun Police, Demon Knight is the Fun Deputy.
So, meanwhile, Bob gets level 12, gets a smattering of stats, and the return spell. So the spells continue to be a little bit trolly. We get hurt more somewhat early, and nothing else.
We don't need return game. Anytime we want to return, we just walk around a bit. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. In other seeds with randomized overworld, return is usually pretty nice. But the last place we want to go is Vanilla Cantlin.
So there is another thing we haven't seen yet, another flag that we're not sure about, and might take a while for us to find. So we still haven't really found half of the chests in the game. But the Death Necklace is still out there, but we don't know if the Death Necklace is usable. maybe some of our vanilla players can answer this. Do you have enough hit points at 19 to equip the Death Necklace and to have that matter?
Aaron, given everything this seed has done, I don't even think you'd risk it. 130? Okay, you could risk it.
That makes it sound like it doesn't help enough at 18 to use, though, because again, the stats tend to be a lot thicker at the end, so it's not like 18 to 19 is giving you 0 HP. So that's not going to change anything.
Yeah.
It might just make the battle easier, again, depending on your defense and all that.
Yeah, 115? I'm not using it at 115.
Alright, both of our players making it to Cole. Looks like Bob has made it quite a ways out. I don't remember what he's actually seen past here. I don't think he's seen anything. I think he's literally died.
No,
every
Bob
time
is
he's
not.
out here.
Yeah, I don't think Bob has been up to the northwest side of the map yet. He's been on the east side before.
Now, granted, that extra
Or
knowledge...
actually, maybe he has. I think both players have seen Vanilla Erdrick's Cave, which is where Bob is going right now. This is where Cantlin is.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course he's seen Cantlin. And I think... Well, he saw Remolder, but Remolder is in the Mountain Cave location, so both of them have just been ignoring that. Again, Gold Grind, kind of iffy, but we heard, I think Beta Strep earlier said he'd absolutely do it, and maybe I could see that helping a lot, especially the Magic Armor, considering we haven't had any healing at all. That extra 1 hit point every 4 steps could be pretty useful.
Yeah, I definitely think go to Mountain, set up a Gold Grind. Mountain Cave is up at Vanilla Garanham. That's the one that we forgot about.
I thought Mountain Cave was Vanilla Brecconary.
Wait, I think you're right. Yeah. What's at Vanilla Garanham? I forget.
I don't think we went that... Well, no, Vanilla Garanham is Tablet. I keep getting
Okay.
Garanham and Cole mixed up, wow.
Yeah, I just have to have a map open and reference, okay, this is this way, this is there.
So again, we're just trying to walk out and find something at this point. Experience is the big thing that's going to eventually open this up, so... Even though Bob hasn't quite seen as much as DK, the fact that he's got that experience pretty much on par is really all that matters. If Grave winds up not having anything, if he dives Mountain and we find the sword right away, you're done. Literally, then it's just grinding the rest of the game.
Yep. Experience pretty much equivalent between our two players. This is really going to come down to who can eke out that combat advantage first. And where are we going to find that advantage? Like, personally, I want to get to Garanham. There's 3 chests in there. Regular. If you shuffle it up, I don't know. But to do so, you would have to make it all the way to Vanilla Tentacle, Vanilla Breck, heal up there, not run into fun police, fun deputies, fun nightmares along the way, and take the bridge over to get to what I think is going to be Vanilla Coal and Vanilla Staff of Burning Cave.
It looks like DK is stopping in here to get his heals. Makes sense. I think he used a few herbs too. We might see him stop in there. I wouldn't be surprised to see them both push the exploration right now, because just the armor would help so much at this point, and there's reasonable odds they can kill whatever is in Hawks. It's not high odds, but an Axe Knight and a Green Dragon are killable. Maybe even a Golem if you have full herbs. At least on DK's side, 65 AP isn't a whole lot to bring in a Golem fight, but it's possible with that flute.
And as enticing as it would be to go into Charlock to learn that it's a open Charlock or something, I don't think you could survive. I don't think you could get through what is likely going to be the nastiest enemy set in that area to survive and get the Charlock and make the check.
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone's concerned about Sharlock right now. Probably just going to try for everything else first. So we see DK has went around. He's going into the eastern part of the main continent there. Unfortunate. A little bit of swamp there. We'll see if he pushes this town. Again, the town is Grinham or Hawksness. Could be either one here on that North Swamp check.
He's got good resources. He's got good HP. He's still got a chunk of MP. This could be the first key advantage that we see for the mid-game.
I think he wanted to skip it and is changed his mind. Like, because if it's Hawksness, I don't know if that's really what you want to see. And it's Hawksness. So he's a little bit beat up, but he's not going to be any stronger any other time, I suppose.
Yep, this is the one that I thought would be here, because I'm putting Garretham up at the Staff of Rain Cave. Here we go, this is a big deal. Can we get the spike tile, and if so, what is guarding our search spot? What will we grind against later? It will be... Oh no! We do have Fairy Flute.
I would say this is probably the third best option. It's not really what you want, but you can get lucky. And if he had a little bit better weapons, now he's just giving up. Okay, so yeah, we know the golem is blank because it's vanilla, but that's not great. No, he's going back in. He just didn't like the ambush.
This is what you're going against. 150 plus HP, lots of punches. You just gotta hope and pray that he stays asleep.
If you swing enough, you're gonna get a crit at some point, right?
This is a grind. This is very difficult. $8 to $17 per swing with that hand axe.
And
I wish I was counting HP. He's doing well. It's probably about halfway there.
That 153 HP2 is maximum. It could be 25% lower, which is probably what he's hoping for. It could be a difference of 3 attacks, that range.
Golem stayed asleep for like 5 turns there.
Oh, that 43, I was going to say, that's still death range, and yeah, not enough.
Nasty.
Unfortunate for him. Not sure we'll see if he rushes it again. He might try to grab a level somewhere. Meanwhile, Bob is still grabbing a lot of experience. Just the reactions that Bob is having, you can see a little bit of frustration in some of the things he's doing. And this is a sort of race where you might think that your opponent is dominating in some fashion. But as we can see right now, there's no clear indicator that either runner has any sort of lead.
Good point made in chat. There is a broadsword still in Remolder, and probably with just the stress of the seed, our runners have forgotten it's there. It would only take like 2 dips in and out of Remolder, no keys required, to get the money for that broadsword.
Well, I'm thinking broadsword on DK's side. That's an extra 5 attacks, so that's 1 to 2 damage per hit. Maybe 3. I wouldn't say no to it. If anything, going in there and possibly snagging the magic armor might keep him from ending up in a situation like he just was, where his defense is so low that he can't really defend against the attacks at all.
Yep, and I would normally say 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 damage isn't a lot, but it's going to take him 10 swings to kill that golem. So if you think that's potential plus 10, plus 30 damage over the fight, that could be 1 less swing.
Yeah, and basically he's looking at 8 to 17, 10 to 20 range. That's the sort of numbers you look at when you're fighting the Dragon Lord. So you take an extra 5 attack power against the Dragon Lord any day.
We're gonna keep pressing on. DK making his way back to the north.
Yeah, dodging Remolder, so that thought is not in his head yet. We'll see. He might check the other towns. Again, I don't think you're going to find anything, though. Grinham has a shot. We'll probably know if we see like a treasure guard or something. And another run from the Red Dragons. We had a little bit of luck here, I think, getting away from them and not getting sent back. Again, 39 agility helps, but that's still, you know, terrible odds.
DK makes his way back to Cantlin. Might re-herb and try again. Or re-herb and go elsewhere.
I'm thinking Mountain Cave, if I'm him right now. Maybe there's a sword in there. Maybe some enemies to fight.
I wanted Mountain Cave for a gold grind, because I thought we had at least one gold chest back in Tanchico Castle.
I think we did. I can't remember for sure. I know there's gold everywhere, though, which is a byproduct of the open Sherlock scenario that we almost certainly have.
And DK still does not have the knowledge that coordinates are not required.
Yeah, but it's not really serving him much use yet.
Alright, here we go. Bob? Is Bob doing the slow grind? Oh, the chest didn't go away! Bob has a gold grinding remote. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm dumb. So, let's see if Bob is going to go in and out of Remolder to get a little gold grind going here.
DK gets through the Red Dragon by the skin of his teeth. Hey, gold grind inside of the town, gold grind outside of the town.
We take those.
Remolder's
doing
just
it.
awash in gold.
Bob is doing it. We'll see how far he takes this. Is he interested in armor or weaponry?
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes for everything. He might even be thinking about Cantlin, although that would be quite risky, but also considering how favorable this
There's a bunch of invisible NPCs. He wanted to just walk across the top, but there was an NPC blocking him.
There are two of them in there, but it's odd that one of them gets anywhere close to you, because I think it starts in the bottom. So that was just poor luck.
Yeah, here we go. Bob's doing it.
DK, meanwhile, is heading into Mountain. We'll see if he checks that chest in the bottom right corner. We haven't seen him do that yet. And nope, I think he's forgotten about that one. That or he managed to do it the first time he was in here. He was completely in the dark, so it was a little bit difficult to see what he was doing.
We have seen Tablet Cave. I think Tablet had like just a torch or an herb or something. It had nothing special. No, it was a death? The belt. Curse belt.
Yeah, there was only on the first floor. There was nothing on the second floor of Tablet at all. There's basically two things we're looking in for the chest at this point, and that is the sword or the death necklace. So even chest searches aren't that big of a deal, but finding the sword would be huge. Now, it'd be rough if you happen to find one and then immediately get killed by a treasure guard, but that's only 50% to be on anyway.
DK did get down to a chest in the bottom right. I couldn't tell which floor he was on, but he did get one. It was just a torch.
Yeah, we have the fun combination of vanilla chest rewards, but shuffled chest locations. So, I have to imagine that's what Bob's doing, although... Is he just... I'm not sure what he's doing right now. I think he got confused.
The NPCs are blocking him, my man. With invisible everything, these NPCs can be such trolls. So, how much are we talking for a summer sale magic armor?
I think the magic armor was full price. The broadsword was summer sale, though. He could also, theoretically, be grinding for the flame sword and silver shield, but that, I don't know. That would seem to be really crazy, I think.
Well, if you're trying to get to full price magic armor... Checking it. Let's see, 77? Yeah! I remembered. Bob's gonna be here another, like, 5 minutes. And it could be the right play. That's the scary part. This could definitely be the right play for Bob.
So DK's finished up Mountain
HP.
Cave. And he's just taking the death out of there. Let's see if he does that gold grind. he might have had that in mind all the whole way, and he definitely opened enough chests to do it.
So you have to open the chest to set up the memory for the gold grind to happen. It's not just spawning the chest by walking into a location. Oh, he had the wrong one. The chest didn't go there, but there was nothing to take. Oh, he's got it!
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see a save after this, and he's going to go for the full set. Maybe he might skip the armor just because of where he has to go, but the silver shield and the flame sword for sure. And just go straight there and then see if he can take out that golem and Hawksness after that. Or maybe just grab level 13, because if Healmore is at 13, then we're one level away from that golem fight being much more achievable.
Well, here we go. Double gold grind on each of our screens. Definitely more in favor of dk9146. He's going to be aiming for... We go to my notes. Probably a full 20,000 plus. Oh, if he wants silver shield as well, he's probably aiming for close to 25 to 30,000. Did any of them roll on summer sale? Any of the big items?
The silver shield did, but it's almost the exact same price as the flame sword. So we're looking at probably 27,000. The big difference between our two runners here, even though Bob is doing a safer, slower grind, well, it's the first word I said there, safer. DK has to go through multiple red dragon zones to get the stuff that he's looking for.
Yeah, DK will have to make his way back to Hawkness, where he can pick up his magic armor, as BobPineappleMD is going to do right now.
I wonder if he realized that he had that extra money from selling that. He didn't have to go much harder for the broadsword. Yeah, he's doing. He's
always
got the attack power. Very useful.
Here we go. dk9146 needs all of the fun police and his helpers to stay away. He did save, right?
Yeah, I saw him go back up there. I didn't see the actual menu. But I do have one comment about 15 minutes ago from Bob Pineapple in the race room. Was video games were a mistake. He's obviously enjoying himself a lot.
Sounds like good fun indeed. DK, half of the way there. No dragons yet, but this is when they can start to appear.
Yeah, I would say right now our best grind option might be the golem. I don't know if you would take that over a red dragon. It would be slow because of the fairy flute and the fact that you don't get a whole lot of MP. But if Grinham is fairly close, it might be worth doing.
I say the best grind option is wherever we find knights. Just, you search the whole overworld till you find knights and stay there. Hurt Morum to death.
So DK has bypassed Cole, so he's made it this far at least. He's definitely aiming for
This is
Cantland.
bold.
And, he did not use the
Why
flute
would you not fairy flute?
I thought for sure he was going to do that.
I mean, he is committed to his bit. He only has one herb left.
He's fairly close. We still got some bad zones.
Star Wyverns. Star Wyverns with heal more. That's gross. There it is! The fun police! He gets away!
Just throw that one in the back of your head. That could be a very fateful run. Oh, now it's the blue dragon. Also not the easiest thing to run from, but he gets away.
Wow! So close. Cantlin is in sight.
And we mentioned
it's not in sight.
That we think it's
halfway
off.
there.
I kind of leaning more towards that alternate run algorithm being on, because we've actually had pretty good run efforts from the red dragons, and at least since the agility is sort of perked up.
It's quite possible. We really won't know for sure until we get into Charlotte.
He's definitely throwing out the fairy flute that time. He's not going to do it again.
Here's the bottom range. Cantlet is in sight. DK makes it. And he will be rewarded by gearing up to the fullest, dressed to the nines, in magic armor, flame sword, and silver shield.
The alternate run algorithm replaces the numbers that are assigned to the NPCs and assigns them to zones. So the Red Dragon, instead of it having a 90 agility in every zone in the game, would only have that 90 agility factor in Charlock. In the overworld, it would be something around 23.
I think this is the play that will seal the game, Aaron.
Well, I don't know about that. Bob dying in Mountain certainly wasn't good, but if he can make it to... again, it just depends on where the sword is. If the sword is in Charlock and you have to go digging for that, that equipment is going to really help DK. But if it doesn't, then I don't know if it's going to matter a whole lot, because if you can find the sword, say, in Grave, which we haven't seen, if it's just sitting around in Garinham, you know, that's not too difficult at all. And the difference between a flame sword and a broadsword matters a bit, but I would say the silver shield is probably the more interesting part there.
I would agree with that. That silver shield increasing DK's defense by a total of 20 plus 10 compared to the large shield. But
wow.
if we're talking about killing the Dragon Lord, there's the heal spell, level 13.
Yep, Bob gets the level, gets the heal spell, and that's got to be feeling really nice. Now, it's not, I mean, obviously you're just like, where's my heal more at this point, but you'll take it. It gives you that sort of survivability, lets you move a little bit.
So, if we're on vanilla, are we still beholden to the randomizer rule, where you have to have all the spells by level 16?
Yes, because we don't have vanilla spell order. If we did that, then we'd have heal more at 17 and hurt more at 19. But since we don't, everything will be in by 16. And the fact that we saw hurt more, you know, means that the no hurt more flag is off. We didn't really acknowledge that earlier, but it's kind of obvious, I guess.
Yeah.
But no radiant either. That's continuing to be a bit of an annoyance because
here we are at
really
Garinham. First look at Garinham, dk9146, Dragon Scale, womp womp. Where did he freaking find this? He had to go all the way across.
It's in the Vanilla Coal location. So we saw one chest in there. There's potentially 3 more out here. And he's blocked by the invisible NPCs. And yep, there's only 1 out here. So Garinham almost always winds up with less chests in these flags. With random chests, it just seems to always happen. So
this back cave is certainly going to be like the jerk. Oh no, he accidentally exits out.
Oh, that was no accident. There is nothing useful for him there. He must know it's open Charlock somehow. When he was walking through, you could actually see if the Rainbow Bridge was set, and he might have noticed that. It's probably something that if he hadn't thought about before, during the Winter League, the race that I was actually in with him, we had that same scenario happen, where it ended up being open Charlock, and you could see it from the walk over this direction.
Interesting.
So yeah, that and the vanilla Staff of Rain location, it's staff and it's dirt cave, and we don't need either. It'd be neat if these flags, if you talk to them and they just gave you like, well, sorry, but here's like 5 gold or something, like some sort of insult gift.
Well, fully geared up, DK is going to take another stab at the Golem in Hawksness.
And he's not quite close enough experience-wise to possibly grab a level beforehand. He might get it after he kills the Golem if he does, although he's still a little bit outside of that one too. If Bob gets there, I would like his odds a little bit more because of the heal spell, because because you're going to run out of herbs at some point. And he's already down to 4, but here we go, round 2, DK versus the Golem.
I think with Flame Sword and Silver Shield, I think you can do it this time.
It's all up to the luck of that flute. I don't think if you even get like half of and half, it's not going to be enough.
That's truth. Here we go, Golem on screen. Oh, it's not giving him the luck this time.
Yep, so far he's 0 for 2. He has not had any free rounds. And speaking of luck, he also needs... And he woke up again. Now he's going to have to double herb just to be out of his range. And
Golem's being a jerk this time. So Bob did dip in the mountain, but Bob doesn't have any torches to search it.
Well, that was Tablet, and ignoring it was definitely the right call, because we know there's nothing there.
Okay, might be.
And DK runs away from the Golem. He's going to go back and get some more herbs, I think. And he's going to try this again.
Good use to stop spelling the Star Wyvern if he can survive the attacks.
I'm
not heading home.
Sure what he was doing there, actually. That was stop spell on a Star Wyvern is only good if you're going to use the hurt more. Maybe it was Miss Menu or something.
Meanwhile, Bob running to the Fun Police for the umpteenth time. Yeah, it's possible we have run algorithm on. We're able to run from these red dragons a lot more now.
This could, it's nice. It could really hurt a whole lot later in Charlock, but...
It will be a nightmare in Charlock.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if we have Charlock on full or short. If it's short Charlock, I mean, it's probably not going to matter a whole lot.
At this point, I feel we need short Charlock.
That's no fun. We need the full one, and we need the sword to be somewhere really annoying. I think that's what we were hoping for at the beginning of the seed, right?
If that happens, I'm tapping in Beta Strep or Tilo or someone else with vanilla experience to finish this thing.
So Bob,
I saw the bridge.
And I think he forgot where he was.
No, he was looking for the bridge. I saw the bridge on Bob's side. We are confirmed open Charlock.
Alrighty. Oh, that is true. If the sword can still be deep in Charlock, if we have short Charlock, I forgot. You might just have to go from the basement up, and that could definitely happen. We'll see. He's a little bit more compromised as far as stats and stuff go in Hawksness, but that Golem, I mean, he has, I would say, probably better odds than DK, just because he has more heals, but if the thing wakes up every time, it's not going to matter. There's nothing you can do.
Truth to that. And this would normally give them Erdrick's token? No, I thought armor was here in vanilla.
Yes, this is 100% armor. If it isn't, something is wrong with everything we've seen so far.
Yeah, they really want that armor before they can maybe try to get to Charlock.
Now DK is back in the Red Dragons griefing everybody cycle. Bob is still 0 for 1 in getting any free rounds. He's going to have to heal up. He's going straight to the herbs, which is probably the best play here. He's thinking about it. He needs to... Yeah, he's going to swing. I think he thought about running, but if the thing stays asleep, you know,
21,
you got to give the chance.
Ooh.
Give the game a chance to give you good luck.
I always hate when Golem is the guard in Hawksness, Aaron. I'll take literally any other enemy, even red dragons. Golems just hit so hard and they're so ruthless. And knowing you always have to swap back to put them asleep, it just gets annoying. And the hurt more resist. Golly gracious.
Honestly, Green...
He got a crit!
He gets a crit! He gets it!
Oh!
Nice!
He gets the kill!
And
Erdrick's armor for Bob Pineapple!
So there's the question. You're at level 13. He's got the armor. What in the world does Bob do now?
I tried to get the Charlock. Just try one time to see, like, because you've proven you could run from red dragons and such. As long as you don't run into too many more red dragons than Charlotte, you gotta learn if it's short. If it's short Charlotte, get in that treasury, see if you get your sword.
True, that could be. I think it's a long walk there, but with random zones, it's not potentially as bad as it normally is to get there. So there's that. Thinking about what Bob has seen and what he hasn't seen, we're still missing, like our knowledge collectively, we're still missing 2 potential checks in Grave, but we've seen everything else. Bob has not seen anything in Grave or anything in Mountain. And actually, there's still 1 chest in Mountain. I don't think anyone's ever checked the southeast one, have they?
I have no idea. I'll tell you one thing. In the time that it took DK to make attempts in Hawk's Nest and Gold Grind and all that such, Bob is 900 XP in the lead. He's buying torches, so he's thinking about doing some cave dives.
As far as Mountain goes, not the isolated one, but there's a chest location that can pop up in basically directly east from the start. I don't think we've seen anyone go there. I might be wrong, though. In Grave, we're still missing the traditional 5th chest, and then the potential location that you find if you go in the middle of the Grave 2 room.
Bob's going to confirm for us which of our non-required caves now are here on the stairs. And hi, Jerk. Bye, Jerk.
There's a... I don't know. This is probably not a real fast grind, but could potentially... Now, he's throwing the wings. I was going to say, like, what are the odds you can do anything with the red dragon or the golem right now? The golem, I feel like, is, you know, maybe in the situation where he was, where if he was going to warp back anyway, maybe you just go there and try to fight it a couple times. It's slow, but it's 350 experience, which is pretty thick.
I think you would die more often than not challenging the golem. He got lucky and he knows it with that crit. Bob is taking Swamp Cave out, which this leads over to Vanilla Remolder. This could be a play to go take a look at Charlock. This is the closest way there.
True, and if it is short Charlock, again, there could be a lot of chests there. There's actually normally less chests in the basement in shuffled chests than normal, and it's a lot harder to get to. You can't even get through the blue dragon down here, though. This also kind of reinforces that this is probably actually has
alternate
run grip. I think the swamp goes on tier 2. I think swamp and grave are tier 2 and mountain is tier 1. I can't remember for sure though.
He's going for it again. Bob wants to get to the other side of Swamp Cave.
He wasn't making a play at that red dragon, was he? I think without heal more, that's a fight that you can do. The sleep is annoying, but you don't know what the stop spell resist is yet, so once you have heal more, that's probably a lot better than the golem. He gets ambush slept by a warlock. That's hilarious.
Nighty night, Bob. DK, I believe, is looking to grind on some blue dragons, see if he can get some Hurtmores in there. He got one.
He's desperate for experience right now, so he's taken this risky scenario, and he's still just going with it.
I tell you, outside of going to find out what Charlock is, that's the #1 thing I want to do. The second thing I want to do is find green dragons. I want to find green dragons in whatever zone they exist, because I know that I can more reliably kill with a single Hurtmore and still get good XP.
I think you're getting your wish there, Malkior. It looks like he is heading over to Sharlock. He's going to check if it's short.
Yes, sir.
Even if it's not, there could be decent grinds in there. I mean, it's all Sharlock enemies. Maybe you'll find a floor that's just Axe Knights, Green Dragons, Star Wyverns, and Werewolves or something.
That would be the dream. Right now, it's all babies guarding the entrance. What's going to be on the island?
Be a great time to have some fairy waters or repel. This walk is a little bit annoying. I don't know if either player's even thought about fairy water since you can't throw it in battle. It still works to use repel though.
Nothing is spawning on the island. Goldman, that's fine. Bye. Sweet. We're gonna get into Charlotte Castle. Let's learn together.
It's short.
It's short Charlotte. We're on the bottom floor. 4 chests in the treasury. Green dragons! Yes! Hurt more for days.
I wonder if you would rate Green Dragons higher than Axe Knights with the vanilla abilities. Probably not, but it's a thought. And the Death Necklace probably isn't gonna matter, but it's still nice to see, and that key might be important too. I noticed he didn't buy any through here, and there's quite a few key, you have to use 3 keys potentially to find everything. Now he's got nothing in that location at least.
And there's werewolves. Oh, we're seeing everything we wanted to see in this Charlock. If you're Bob. Yeah, Aaron, no sword yet. We're gonna have to go digging.
Well, there's still 2 more locations we haven't seen on this basement floor you can get to. There's one that's actually behind where the grind tile is on the right. And there's one in the
trolly
top left corner up here. Yeah, I've seen that location be the sword and the armor on different times. It's hilarious.
Remind me to never play with shuffled chests.
No, shuffled chests are glorious. It's just this combination of flags makes it a little bit more painful than it normally would be. He sees the chest. There is a chest there.
There's one up there. Watch your key count.
I'm just looking that he walks onto one of these chests and suddenly like a gold man appears or something, because the treasure guard is tri-stated, so it's 50-50, and for every single chest. And we haven't had any chests to look at, so we haven't seen any yet. But here we go, level 14. Any good spells? Radiant and Repel. You know, I'd take Repel. Radiant will be useful if he decides to dig.
Repel is nice everywhere but here. It's gonna be the green dragon grind.
What's interesting about what he's doing here is that DK is basically online in experience with him now. He's found a reasonable zone down here. I think this is the southwest corner of the map. He's gonna have to 3 hurt more of the Armor Knight there, and it's gold. Wonderful. Bob found some more gold.
Yeah, DK's been grinding on AKs and blue dragons, I believe. But personally, I like Bob's play a little better right now to already have the knowledge, especially if he can pull the sword out of here on his first dip.
And he's opened enough chests now to do a gold grind. I believe he's seen, what, 5? So that might be in the back of his head too. The somewhat rare, but still equally effective Sharlock Death gold grind. It does happen occasionally.
That would be a first time for me. I'd be excited to see it.
And yeah, DK looks like he's sold on this. I think we're going to see another level or 2 out of this. If he were planning on moving on, he probably wouldn't have come back to Tanzagel.
Did he die or did he come here willingly?
I think he used return. Yeah, I think he either used return or used wings, but he teleported back.
We're just a few tiles away to learn what our spike enemy is.
I think he's going to sneak around, but he might just take the death out of here. Considering his resources, he might as well.
Yeah, resources are low now. What do you mean sneak around?
Oh, the final chest location is, or the bottom corner around the back of this. It really feels, and there it is.
Oh, I see it. Wow. What? Gru, what were you thinking when you put it there? That's so troll. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, in trouble. Bob Pineapple doesn't have the MP. He's gonna die!
I think just watching how this is went, looking at his 52 agility, where normally he would be at advantage of a lot of these enemies that he couldn't run from, let's just go ahead and call the alternate run algorithm on, because he got stopped by everything. And close call there, he double-checked. He was down to his last key, so he's going to go get more keys. And probably a gold grind. Not necessary, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it to at least get silver and flame. But I don't think he ever checked it earlier, so I don't know if he knows how much it is. And we are down to 3 possible chest locations for the sword that aren't deep in Sharlock. I mean, that one kind of seems deep because you got to walk around the entire outside of the map, but I'd take that over anything that's downstairs. And how many chests have we seen in Sharlock? Because there's still a cap of 8.
Oh, does he have a gold grind? He does! He's been far enough in Sharlock. Bob has a gold grind. He can set this up to get his silver shield. Probably will go ahead and take Flame Sword while he's at it. This is time for DK to catch up. They're going to be even on experience shortly.
Yeah, we talk about catching up. It's going to be, he'll probably have the experience lead by the time Bob is able to turn these things in. And that's only if he actually makes it there. Although, if the alternate run algorithm is on, that actually increases the likelihood he'll make it. 52 agility, he's favored against everything in the game with that on in the overworld.
Absolutely. I mean, DK will still have to make the overworld trek. I mean, Bob has to make it as well, but he's already been there. He's already checked the chest. Bob knows, except for the one chest in the back, he could start going through Sharlock and perhaps find his sword.
And normally you'd be going for around just under 26,000 if you didn't know that the summer sale was on. In fact, that he has probably never checked it. So, this is really minor waste of time. I'd probably be playing something about the same.
Yeah, it probably only costs an additional minute, if that.
And no safety save. He probably feels really pressed after that. That he needs to make the time.
This is a bold play by Bob Pineapple.
Alright, CyberDart following up with something I mentioned before. So we have the 2 potential chests that are in a grave. We have maybe one in Mountain that nobody's looked at, but that might just be our fault for not remembering it. We also have the one that we see in Sharlock and potentially 2 more in the Navy. That's where our swords are.
Looks like Bob is going to skip coal entirely, determined to get to Cantlin. Cantlin over at Vanilla Erdrick's cave. It's quite a ways there.
I'm hearing some comment that maybe our commentating isn't going through correctly. If you need me to, I can type everything out in chat like that.
Well, let's try that now. Hello, how do we sound? Testing 1, 2, 3. This is Human Malcure, not Robo oh, never mind. The Robo Overlords have taken over.
DK tries to walk into the town instead of warping back, and he gets killed by a Red Dragon. That's just
yikes.
Perfect. It's probably just a shrug from him.
Red Dragon for Bob! He didn't save! Money, please! Nighty-night, Bob!
Oh man, that is rough. He's feeling really bad right now.
Bob will go down to around 12,300 gold, and will probably save this next time. Yeah, he's not even reloading the save yet. He's got to process that death. That one hurt.
I have this mental image that he's punching random things around the computer. Perhaps has thrown his computer into a wall. Who knows?
I could believe it. If only he knew that he was actually in the lead at the time.
Wishing he could just forfeit this, but it's not a scenario where you'd want to.
It's the finals. It hurts.
Well, here's the question.
This time, talking to the king, taking the save. Oh, you grinded again. Oh, you can't.
No, but here's the question. Do you, because he's going to find that the silver shield is cheap enough to buy. Is he going to buy the silver, or is he going to buy the flame sword?
I think he would buy the silver, because he knows he can find the sword.
True, and
he's only gonna learn the silver shield is cheap enough to buy if he gets there. Because did you have to get the Cantlin for it, or was it in Coal?
It was in Cantlin, but the flame sword was only in Cantlin too. It's a vanilla shop location, so that's the only place that you find it in the vanilla.
Gotcha. Yeah, DK seems content to stay here on his AK and Dragon Grind. Just gonna hurt more till he's out of MP.
Yeah, I think he's here until he gets heal more at least. Once you get heal more, I don't know, HP has to be a little bit higher, and this honestly isn't a terrible zone. Again, is it Golem is probably not what you want to do because it's as vanilla as a Golem can get, and the Red Dragon, I don't know, it's probably... The advantage of the Red Dragon is that the death is so quick to come back from, and it's 350 experience.
Yeah, DK really showing off his vanilla knowledge, because this zone is in the far southwest corner, literally in the middle of nowhere. There is nothing of value here in terms of overworld locations. He's just showing how he knows the monster zones are divided and able to use that to his advantage, as he's the first player to get to level 15 with Outside as the spell learned.
Alright, so we have another level 16 Healmore seed. That is awesome.
I mean, what else did you expect?
So I think
Bob
the
is
scenario
close to Cantlin.
How much did Bob lose from not being able to get that? Time-wise, he lost a bit of time. But as far as gathering stuff, the difference between the flame sword and the broadsword is important, but it's not vital unless you're trying to win without it. He gets away from the stone. Man, he was real nervous. And he makes it to Cantlin. Hooray!
I mean, just... Alright, everyone, send your willpower to Bob right now. And tell him through ESP to buy the silver shield. Don't buy anything else. Silver shield, Bob. Silver shield. Hey, good man! There we go. Yes, having made that purchase, Flame Sword only +8 attack power over the broadsword. This is most certainly the correct play for Bob. We'll see how fast it takes him to get back to Charlock.
And what makes it especially useful is what is in Charlock. Those enemies we saw in that bottom zone are basically all some of the easiest to, the easiest to repel enemies down there, if I remember right. You have a Golem, which you can Fairy Fluid out of, and I think there was a Blue Dragon, which you're not going to, but then I think it was Werewolf, Star Wyvern, and Green Dragon, which by the time they're in Go mode, they should be able to repel all of that with that silver.
And now we're looking at the XP differential. DK actually finding a slightly more efficient grind down here with the AKs. Now up 1,300 experience over Bob.
And yes, chat pointing out that the grind zone seems to be the big edge, and I generally agree with that. I think getting to heal more quicker is going to be massive. That alone, which... and Bob is working back. Interesting. Looks like he must be thinking about going back to Charlock.
Charlock, yeah. See, he doesn't know about DK's zone. He knows his zone is the green dragons and the werewolves and everything else that he was finding in Charlock. A fun police might show up once or twice, but maybe if he can pull that sword out, he can start fighting the fun police.
Maybe he's thinking about the Red Dragon. I kind of hope not, because even like without Healmore, I can't imagine that's a good grind. But it is a thought.
No, I'm certain he wants the green dragons, and he'll fight the red dragon if he has to, but only if he can get the sword first, because he's definitely going back to Charlotte.
So we've been at this seed now for 2 hours. A bit of an update if you haven't been here the whole time. We have determined that it is open Charlock, so there's no location for the Harpstones and Token. The otherwise zones are vanilla, the search spots were vanilla, which means the armor is in Hawksness and the flute is in Coal. We found the fighter's ring somewhere. I forgot to write it down, and I think the death necklace was in Charlock. So
Fighter's ring was Freebie Cave. I think. But yeah.
Oh no, it was in Remolder. It was locked behind the two things. That's right.
Got it.
So we're still missing the
Yeah,
sword. We have 5 potential locations left where it could be. Bob is hitting Charlock pretty hard for it. He knows there's the one spot down, but then there's also 2 potential chests in the giant quagmire that could be whatever is underneath Charlock.
I mean, it could be because I'm newer. Bob's making the play that I would be thinking about in my book, in that if I get the best weapon in the game, it'll make all of my grinds faster. So whatever the time investment is, so long as I don't keep dying over and over and over, I want to improve my gear as much as possible before I settle into my endgame grind.
Yeah, there's... I don't know, it also seems like he's just a little too focused on this. Like, this sort of thing, you have to be somewhat versatile in your thought process. Now, if the sword is here, and that grind spot winds up being... well, he's not going to have enough magic to do a ton with it, but there's still the potential he could... just getting that sword could benefit a lot right off the bat. It is another 20 attack power over what he has, and since he missed out on that flame sword, he might feel extra pressed to get it.
Yes, that could... Excuse me. That could definitely be playing into Bob's psyche right now, knowing that he did not save his gold grind and missed out on Flame Sword. He wants to go ahead and have the safety of being fully geared up for the end game.
The other thing that's kind of nagging me about this is I don't think he's fully dived Mountain or Grave. In fact, I don't know if he's done anything in Grave. So it's a little bit surprising considering all the potential chest locations. Again, I think from what we know, there's nothing left in Mountain unless they both just happen to miss the one chest I mentioned before. And there's only 2 potential locations left in Grave.
We're going to see this chest in the back.
And that's the sword, fighting a Goldman down here. This is, it's gonna pay off just a bit for Bob. Getting that, what he needs, getting that sword, and, yeah, we'll check the grind here.
Well, bam! Bob Pineapple is 100% geared for the endgame and for Charlock Castle. Now it's all about the stats and about the grind. What is going to be guarding the spike tile of Charlock Castle?
You know, I'm not sure if there's anything here that would be super useful, because I don't think you'd want to come back here for it, whatever it is. And it's an Axe Knight.
I mean, he doesn't have the MP. Yeah, you don't walk all the way here just to fight Axe Knights, but you'll fight as many as you can until you go back home.
This would be absolutely perfect for him if level 15 had Heal More. This would have worked out perfect. However, we know that it doesn't, and he's going to have to figure out somewhere to grind for another 2,000-ish experience.
Here we go. We are set for the end game. Bob is now roughly, I'm going to do my math as soon as I can see his screen, 1,400 XP behind DK. I want to make a note of something, and I don't think it'll matter. But DK does not have the Death Necklace.
Well, it's very likely he's going to find that in any searches for the sword, since it's in the most obvious place to look there in Charlotte. The bigger
Oh,
question
was it
will
in the
be:
treasury?
does DK go back into Grave before he goes to Charlock? I don't think he will, just because of that open short question. But if he does, that's a huge advantage for Bob, who doesn't have to do anything except for grind now.
Alright. Bob is heading back to the swamp cave. Could he be going to the red dragon? Because that's what the spike tile enemy in swamp is.
That's, you have a reasonable chance to kill it, but it also can just, nuke you. He might be just going back to Charlock.
I would find anywhere else now.
The majority of the enemies there on that first floor were not bad, but he's leaving the wrong direction. He changed his mind. He must have changed his mind.
Yeah, Bob's gonna find. He started thinking about it. And it's like, I would have to make this 5-minute run every single time. And so he is turning back. We'll see what zone Bob can find for his grind. I mean, Hotness Desert wasn't too bad, but it was mostly red dragons.
And he doesn't quite have, he doesn't have the grind zone, but maybe, I mean, he would probably, the hurt more on this guy is a little bit weird. I think he has enough attack power to out-damage it, if he swings. But he might not realize that.
Out-damage or hurt. I don't think he would out-damage or hurt more, but, like, it's definitely more reliable than having it get resisted over half the time.
And DK is going to take out a wolf to get level 16. That's not the sort of thing you expect when you're already up here.
Well, we're going to have all of our spells now. Still low on the stats, but MP21, thank you very much. Heal more. Let the grind continue.
Alright, which one of you trackers typed will 16 be enough? We know 16's not enough.
It was not me.
Sorry, I'm assuming that's some fun humor. That's wonderful. But now that he has heal more, it looks like DK is on to get that armor, I imagine, his first thing. And then, I don't know, we might see him go back into... No, I think he's going to go directly to the armor. He might fight the golem, though. I think with heal more, that might be a more consistent fight, but then it's also out in the middle of nowhere. So, instead it looks like he's going to tablet.
I think with... Well, this is the way to armor. You have to go...
Right.
They're both at the same spot.
Sorry, I thought he was further north than he was.
I think the golem is easily manageable with heal more. I mean, you still gotta get lucky with sleep, but much more manageable with heal more.
I imagine what's in his head is, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get that, I'm going to get the armor, and I'm going to fight the golems till I die, and then we'll, possibly do red dragons, or then consider what to do after that. But the Death Warp will take him back to Tantagel, and if he's thinking Deep Grave, then there's that option. Or maybe he's thinking Charlock like Bob did.
Oh, we got Stop Spell on the Red Dragon. The spell is blocked successfully. I am much more curious about where is Bob heading.
Looks like he's going for the Golem.
I thought about it. This is a very bold play. I would never want to settle into a Golem grind as my grind of choice.
Oh, I would rank...
just hit way too damn hard.
And he's got the Fairy Flute. I would rank the Golem as probably, of the 7 grinds, probably right there in the middle at 4. Better if it has anything that debilitates it, because it hits so hard. But, I mean, Red Dragons are basically the same as Golems with just less hit points. And Bob taking out a Red Dragon, that's gotta feel good.
He got the Stop Spell on it, and he got the crit. That's what you want to fight, if you get a good Stop Spell on the Red Dragon.
Now, he is going to have to be using Flute here, and it's going to be a bit of a slow grind. That's not appealing at all. but he's probably like done some math and thinks he can get really close to or get the level here. And there's just nothing else in his head, I think, yet. And with 110 attack power, he's going to be doing some decent damage. I think that's a roll of 20 to 40.
Yeah, it's still gonna take like 5 to 6 swings to take down a golem. So a doable grind, but like you said, slow with the time it takes to both blow the flute and the reliability that golem stays asleep. And also, this can happen. He does not have heal more yet. If you had heal more, this would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, any of the golem or red dragon fights without heal more is scary. But yeah, he still needs the. Oh no! He should have used the flute first.
I would have gone for the kill. I would either kill fluted or gone for the kill. I don't know what the HP was at, but it felt like he'd already hit it 4 or 5 times.
And DK is going back into Mountain. I think he realized the check that he missed before. Yep, and there's no chest there, so he's out.
Bye! Radiant makes that a very quick check.
And I think we're going to see Bob go after the red dragons now. I think the fact that he killed that one has given him a taste for it. That or he's going to go back to Charlotte.
Yeah, let's see if he takes a turn. I'm expecting
east,
the red dragon.
So he's going to that red dragon.
I have no idea how you saw that. Here we go.
I stared at the stairs and I saw it exit screen left. Now he's still going to need some luck to get through the red dragons, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He needs it to cast sleep. I don't know if you're going to out-heal this one. Maybe he will.
A little bit of baby breath's okay.
I mean, you can out-heal the baby breath, but you really need it to use sleep, and it doesn't have a high rate of that,
I think you gotta swing. I think you have to swing now. If you're above 30, I swing. I don't know what the damage range is.
The damage range is 20 to 40 for the red dragon, which is...
oh, good lord.
It's actually the exact same as the golem. They have identical attack power. Now we see DK on the other side going in for his golem fight.
With heal more in hand, this should be a lot easier for DK.
There's the sleep he was looking for this entire time. And now he needs a swing here. Because he's... Oh no. I need to stop trying to correct what the players are doing. I'm sure that he's got all this stuff in his own head and I'm just watching, but... Ouch.
In his head or on the spreadsheets. Yeah, this is very unfortunate for Bob Pineapple. Red Dragon is not playing nice. There's another sleep. Come on, swing away, just get one.
Man, that red dragon rolled really high and he rolled really low that entire fight. Meanwhile, DK does get out the golem. He gets the Erdrick's armor and it looks like he's gonna sit here for a little bit. Here's where, again, I think Bob is just like, what do I do? Everything he's trying to do right now isn't working out. He knows he just needs the grind to 16 to heal more to make these fights possible. And he's just stuck.
Uh-oh. 4 HP! DK goes for it! He gets the kill on the golem.
One of the fun facts about the golem is that they have no evade. So you're always guaranteed to hit them. Basically the same as the Dragon Lord.
Yep, I do remember that. It's still very terrifying when you're making that swing in lethal range, even if you've done your counting. Oh my gosh, 1 HP!
You know, at this point, I don't think DK cares too much if he gets sent back. But, I mean, 41, he's got 83 defense, he knows he's safe, but he can get brought down to nothing. And we do see Bob looking like he's moving towards Sherlock.
It's the only grind he knows, but the more Bob walks around, we see him falling further behind in the experience. Now, 3,200 experience behind DK.
Right. The advantages that Bob has are entirely exploration at this point, and he really has to hope that DK goes in some really unfortunate and unuseful directions instead of going directly to where that sword was. And Bob is not going to Charlock after all. Is he going to Grave?
He's going wherever he can find a good grind. I think he's just zone hunting now.
Well, he just cast Repel, so he's repelling wizards and up. I'm not sure what he'd be looking for.
Going back to Charlock.
Honestly, this makes sense considering what he's seen. We know there's a much better grind that DK has been on, and I think he might be hunting Grave right now. I have a feeling he's either going to Grave or he's going to Charlock.
He wants the green dragons again.
Oh, I'm talking about DK. We know what Bob's doing.
Yeah.
And again, that alternate run algorithm, he might have absolutely no idea what that is. It's some really deep DWR knowledge to figure that out, that he's just struggling to run from everything. Of course, Stonemen they normally have that modifier of 4, so they're just as hard to run from down here as they normally are.
Yeah, Bob is going to run all the way back to his fight tile and probably fight the Axe Knights, and he'll kill anything that he's interested in on the way there.
Right, and he's trying to run again. I don't know. Would I fight these guys? I don't know if I would either. I mean, nobody likes fighting Stonemen, but if you... Well, you know what, never mind. He should be able to run from them anyway.
And he's trying to preserve his MP, because he wants this MP available for Hurtmoors against the Axe Knights down here. And he'll swing away when he's out of MP. Is DK really going to save the princess? Oh, there's a chest here.
We forgot about that chest. That could have been huge, because who knows if Bob would have remembered it. But otherwise, he might just be fighting the red dragons here, too. This is probably the most optimal grind. It's a little bit questionable, but maybe if we can peek at the red dragon now and see what that stop spell resist is, because I don't think we've seen one missed yet.
Well, let's take a look-see.
It's 7 out of 16, but I swear they've just been really lucky, I guess, or I've missed every time they've missed.
Now, which of these grinds do you think is more efficient? Red dragons that can put you to sleep, or Axe Knights that you can kill in one shot? Oh, the Axe Knight has sleep as well. Bob gets ambush sleep.
I would say
He's
the
out.
red dragon, just because if you die, you're really close to where you respawn. But otherwise, he's not gonna quite get the level here either. I think he's gonna be a few kills short, even if he doesn't get sent home early. And I believe stop spell resist is always randomized. I don't think that anything that you can do flag-wise impacts that. But it's only random, like it's random up to whatever its normal max is, so like slimes can't have 9 out of 16 resist.
Yes.
I swear I still haven't seen a stop spell fail, which is absolutely crazy if that resist is accurate.
Well, Bob Pineapple now out of MP. The rest is just going to be swings. And Green Dragon's going to give him a short trip, or in his case, a long trip, back to Tanager at Vanilla Cantlin. Will Bob Pineapple return to Charlock once again for the grind?
He needs, like, I don't know, one red dragon would do it. I would have a hard time not just running down there, even though that thing has been frustrating to him. You know, throw the one stop spell and swing and hope that you kill it.
He was just checking his herbs, so I think that's where he's going.
Yeah, herbs are a better play than heals because they recover more. But it's still I was surprised that he was doing that in the first place. It might just be better to take the death and start over, or I would say try to run. But no, I guess the
Here,
red
fight
dragon.
this guy instead.
Oh yeah, I'm not. Well, the hurt more landed this time. Still, I'm a little bit shocked that he's using it.
I don't mind trying at least one hurt more on a blue dragon and then swinging away. There we go. Bob gets the kill. Oh, will not get level 16. Scorpion gives him level 16. And he will see that heal more and think, alright, now let's do this.
Yeah, the red dragon is a lot more appealing with heal more. This is he's got a huge experience difference, but this is really coming down to what does DK do with the sword and how efficient are these grinds. If DK pushes through and goes directly to the sword, massive advantage to him. If he loses a lot of time going other directions, it might give Bob a chance to catch up. He is over 10 red dragons behind, though, to put that in perspective. So there's a huge lead right now for DK.
Yes, from the knowledge that we believe DK has, there's only like 3 other chest locations on the overworld he hasn't seen, versus the 5-something chests that are in Charlock. The odds say go to Charlock.
Right, and the fact that Bob went was a bit of a gamble, but it wasn't too bad because I think he was set on grinding there anyway. And again, I've still not seen a stop spell fail. I think that that stop spell number for the red dragon is fake news.
It could be. Red Dragon, in this particular instance of vanilla, is 0 of 16 for stop spell resist.
DK has not seen 2 possible chest locations in Grave, and that is it. Other than that, he still hasn't seen Charlock at all, so he doesn't know it's short. He doesn't know which spot the sword is. It's possible he dives, but I have a feeling he won't. I think he'll just go directly to it.
I think Bob is happy to see a semi-reliable grind spot now. Both of them having settled into this red dragon grind inside Swamp Cave. We're still going to be a bit. What number we got to get to? DK is at 14,000. He has level 18. This still doesn't look like enough power for the Dragon Lord.
No, it's... that would be really rough. If Fairy Water was on, there'd be more of an argument, but I still think that's not enough. I think 19 would seal it. Well, you know, I say the 115, but he's also missing the plus 12 from Erdrick's sword.
Just to look at my quick stats. An attack power of 170 means you would do 4 to 8 to the Dragon Lord. So no, we're nowhere near close. We'll see y'all at level 20.
No, 19 will be fine. Again, the stats tend to come in a lot heavier in this range. The game is set up to make you want to go now and not sit around and grind forever, as opposed to normal randomizer when you have absolutely no idea. I mean, the curves are set up, I think, to make 16 the average level, but your mileage may vary.
I love it in Rando where... I mean, I don't love it when I see small stat games, but there's always one level. Sometimes it's at 16, sometimes it's at 17 or 18, sometimes it's as early as 14, where it's just like, power plus 30 something, or HP plus 40 something. It's like, oh, okay. That's the level I was working for, bye!
And I think we've been blessed slightly with this Red Dragon grind. It didn't feel good until now, but this is a ton of experience. Like, anything short of Green Dragon or Axe Knight would be so much worse, man. Like, if there were a Stone Man here, you know, Yeah, absolutely terrible.
And we do have to consider DK, or DK, Aaron. DK not having the sword yet. We saw what kind of enemies were in that Charlock, including more red dragons, which are forcing you to use your heal mores.
I don't
DK
think there was
may
any
need-
red dragons down there. I don't remember seeing them in there. There were?
There were a few. It was primarily green, but there were some reds. All that to say, DK could need a double dip of Charlock. So go ahead and put an additional 5 free minutes on Bob's grinding time, and that could get him closer.
True, that would help quite a bit. DK not able to take this last one. Maybe he just figured he wasn't going to finish it off anyway. Either way, it wouldn't have mattered. He'd still have to go fight 2 more to get the level. Or, that's what it was. I think he was trying to stretch it out so he wouldn't have to go back and do this again. Because then he would just be able to go. We'll see. The thing about this amount of experience he needs is this might make Deep Grave a little bit more appealing because you'll probably gain that experience going through there. If you don't, then I don't know. It's also worth noting that the Death Necklace was found by Bob. That doesn't guarantee you that it's on, but it increases the likelihood.
Don't use that.
You use that at 19, that's 139, and you have enough hit points to clear doubles, and I would say 19 with the Death Necklace is a very huge advantage.
We have 18 now for DK. Attack power of 115. It still looks a little short. He wants 19.
Well, again, that 115, once he gets the sword, will be 127. He's not going to need a whole lot of attack power. He doesn't get a whole lot of attack power at 19, but he'll be in real good shape.
Well, this could be a big deal. Bob already having everything. If Bob goes for it at 18, while DK tries to grind it at 19, that could be the difference.
I mean, 18 is possible. You have, 12 heal mores going against, was it 127, so an average of 17 rounds. I don't know. You need some heavy doubles, I think, on that. It seems a little rough to me. That doesn't mean he's not going to try it.
Bob, here's the chart. Bob knows how much he's died. He knows the multiple runs he's made to Charlock instead of seeing, okay, I could have fought Red Dragons if I would just gotten heal more sooner. I think in his head, Bob believes he's behind. And if he correctly assumes that, he is certainly going for it at 18.
Yeah, and I don't think he has, he might not realize it's vanilla stats. This is the sort of thing that I might not have realized until you guys told me. Not that I am some sort of expert or anything, but it's not the most obvious flag that you're thinking about. And, yeah, that could be rough. So, DK's... Okay, he's just taking the death here on the Red Dragon. So, he's going to be moving now.
Yeah, it looks like DK is like, alright, I got 19. There's not much else I can ask for with this. I need to go make the play. Also, I need to go find my sword.
I feel like if he was going to check Grave, he would have done it by now. I think this is just a pure dive into Charlock. He's hoping for short Charlock, and the one sort of bad thing, because unless he has Repel going, which I don't think he's going to do, he's going to have to fight through a lot of things that still are pretty close to even run odds from.
Yep, that could eat up a lot of resources, and we need all of them.
Yeah, I didn't see his Herb. I didn't see his Herb situation. I don't know if he has any alternate, options other than heal more, but he has none. Thank you for showing us, DK. Right when I asked, he realizes it too. Again, the Red Dragons in the overworld fairly easy to run from. It's been the one advantage, but now we know just the enemies that he's got to deal with might be too much for him. But we'll have to wait and see. And then there's the Axe Knight. on the grind tile with its sleep. You know, that could prove to be a problem as well.
Yep. He was just double checking. Do I have a torch? Do I have a torch? In case he has to dig out the basements of Charlotte. But DK is going for the play into Charlotte Castle at level 19. Will he need 2 dips? Will the monsters eat up too much of his resources that he can't go straight for the Dragon Lord?
We're gonna see. He's just the one thing about not having repellent. I thought he had some fairy water. I would have been tempted to use it there. Maybe he's saving it for Charlock. Like he knows that 90 defense, he'll be repelling wizards, werewolves, star wyverns, and green dragons. And I think 3 of our enemies there register as that. So maybe that's in his head.
I find it so funny that the Dragon Lord skimps so much on paying his minions. You see, he's got all the low-level workers outside, and he keeps his high-security detail on the inside. Like, there were literally no dangerous enemies on the island itself.
So DK is a mild favorite to run from the werewolf, who is defensive breaking. That was just pretty slow, but we'll see. He's still a pretty big advantage over a golem, though. Even though golems are much harder to run from, they're still the easiest thing to run from. He's going to see here. And he also has the Death Necklace. Again, if he equips that, this isn't even a remotely close battle. He might be scared to equip it, though, but considering we've seen it on both players' screen, we're like basically guaranteed that that flag is on. It could be off. He might go without it. He might also just equip it and go at 129 and not look for the sword. That is, I think he's still...
That would be ballsy.
If he goes in with full resources, he'd be the favorite.
Yes, that if he goes in with full resources, he is definitely the favorite. And DK knows how much vanilla we've been seeing. That would terrify me to put that necklace on.
It would be a shame if if the tournament race was resolved by somebody getting quote Brian Williams unquote.
You'll have to enlighten me on what Brian did. Oh, was this the one time where it's like it was the 1 in whatever chance that even though the behavior for the necklace is on, it rolled to not be on?
Yep, he got the 1 in 32. The guy who is leading the tournament, his idea to do all of this, is the one who got that luck.
Nice.
So DK has managed to hold out pretty well, getting through here. Almost certainly going to check that thing behind. Like if he weren't going to do it, he wouldn't have went this way. And
yeah, there's no way you skip it now when you can see it. He's going for it.
Yeah, so the luck is not against DK right now, which is really what Bob needed. He's still got over 2,000 experience deficit here. It was really that grind in the overworld is what did it. And as soon as he sees this gold man, he knows that this is where it is.
I think with the HP and the MP totals, barring any mistakes in execution, we could be looking at a champion.
Right, and Axe Knight might give him a little bit of pause, but I mean, he could even have thrown out a Hurtmore if he was particularly scared, because I think he's got the distance. But nope, taking them out, and I don't know, is there anything that can stop him except for his own menuing errors at this point?
A golem punching him in the face because he doesn't use the fairy flute. Oh, Stone Man's gonna try. Not holding B when talking to the invisible Dragon Lord, that would do it.
Oh man, let that never happen in another race. That is the scariest, worst thing.
Here we go, Dragon Lord 1.
He's getting the double hurt.
Eat a hurt more.
Is he gonna throw out the herb?
Use
yeah,
some
he's
herbs. Oh, he only
did,
has 1.
He did not equip the Death Necklace,
Ooh.
though. He's playing it... Well, he's got the advantage. There's no real reason to push this just in case he got the 1 in 32. And I'm sure he'd say the exact same thing.
Yeah, I would not put that necklace on. You have enough HP to get doubles easily. Just take the guarantee. And this damage is fine. What's the damage range we're looking at here? 129. Half it.
Well, we popped the stats up a little bit early, but yeah, looks like he rolled low on the hit points, so there should that even gives DK a little bit more advantage.
Oh god! Dragon Lord gets max on the breath, 48.
Well, that happens. He knows what sort of shape he's in, and I don't think he's remotely worried here.
Yeah, he knows his numbers. He knows 48 is the magic number. Anytime he's below it, he needs to heal more. I have not been counting.
I have the... Nope, never mind. Yep, Bob is going to Sharlock, I think. He's going to go with the 11.
Bob's going for it at 18. I told you he might. He feels like he's behind. If for some reason DK can't pull it out, Bob is coming in for the upset finish.
Yeah, and he's not getting the doubles that he would assume that he would be getting. And oh, there's a 7. That's
and he's rolling gross. Low. This is getting a little. There's another 7. This is getting scary.
I think he had too much of a lead for even that, but you know, just seeing those 7s makes you wonder. A lowish heal more. I think he wanted to do another one, but realized he could swing, and there it is. Congratulations to DK. He finishes off the Dragon Lord and will be coming in first place in the tournament. It was a lot. I don't think the DK. I think he won one of the 5 qualifier rounds to get in. I think it was the last one too, and just did very well in all the playoffs. And here he is in the finals with the victory, well earned. And GG's to him.
When he comes in, if he comes in for an interview, we'll have to see if his respect for vanilla has increased any. Because this was a marathon. This was not a race. This was a marathon. I'm really curious to see if Bob can pull this out at level 18. That would be very impressive.
He would need a little bit better luck than DK did, because he would definitely need to get a double or 2, or maybe 3. Some good rolls. If Fairy Water were on, this would be slightly better, although it only does a little bit more damage than he'd be doing anyway. So if he can
keep going.
Sorry, if he can manage to just get there with all of the resources with those 12 heal mores, I would say I would put him probably below average, but I think considering, like, he made the right play considering what was going on, because if DK didn't win this time, he was going to win next time just by the odds.
I was going to say, funny thing, his finish time of around...
bonks? How?
Woohoo!
Oh yeah, because we had
all the NPCs, my dude. Everyone's invisible. Fantastic. I mean, that 240, that is right around the finish time I had on my very first completion seed. You can ask Slamu about that one. Here we go, Bob going for... I'm rooting for Bob. I want to see this level 18 kill. I know it is statistically unlikely, so how hype would it be if he got it? Dragon Lord not playing kind. Too many freaking hurt mores. Stop it, man.
Yeah, all hurt mores all the time. And meanwhile, I believe DK is with us in chat. GG's and congratulations, champion.
Thanks. That was not fun.
Do you have any further respect for the vanilla game now?
Oh yeah,
or any lesser respect.
I hate the vanilla game with a passion. I'm pretty sure 18's winnable with it, but I was not sure where the sword was, and I was not going to have to go back over, so I wanted to hedge my bets in case I had to go back to grave. And 19 was really close to 18, but other than that, just getting out of that, red dragons everywhere.
You know, we have Bob going for the miracle 18 kill right now. Bob actually had the sword quite a bit ahead of you, maybe 40 minutes plus, but he was not able to find that zone in the far southwest where you really got your grind started early until you acquired Heal More and then turned that into the Red Dragon grind. That's what really gave you the edge in the late game for this seed.
Yeah, I was making it a point with how terrible the zones were to go into every zone I possibly could to see, and I remembered all of a sudden that I had seen an Armored Knight in that zone earlier in the race, maybe like 40 minutes in. So I decided to give that a shot, and that zone above it both had decent grinds in comparison to the rest of it that I could find at least.
I've not been counting, but I don't think Bob's gonna make it. He's rolling too low. He's gonna have to go for the Miracle Hurt More.
We'll see. And yeah, I would say that it was very difficult to pick either of you who are ahead. I would have given it to Bob because he got the armor on the first try and was just able to do more. But that grind is really what pushed it forward. Being able to find an overworld grind and do something with it was something that just eluded him for the most part. So, you know, kudos on keeping your head about you and figuring that out. And there's so much of the world map and so many zones, it's hard to think about the one. And here we go, the Miracle Hurt More, and it does not land, and that is it.
Oh no. He was at 128, so very, very slim chances if he did double swing, he could have gotten into range, but yeah. That might be it for Bob for the evening.
Yeah, he has officially forfeited.
Wow.
Absolutely wonderful
what a
race.
Fantastic race.
So there was a question brought up earlier, DK, and at what point did the gold grind pop into your head? Was there ever a thought about doing something out of Remolder? That was something we actually saw Bob do at one point. Actually, the exact same time you were doing the gold grind out of, I think, Mountain.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do the gold grind, but I, one, didn't know if I could ever make it anywhere alive, or two, make it in far enough to find chests. If you recall, when I made it into Grave, the top 6 were all blanks. The 7th one was a blank, so I got one chest out of Grave before I died, before checking those last 2. Every time I went into the Mountain, a Blue Dragon or Stone Man was wrecking me. So at that point, I just said, I'm going to try and get some levels at first before I go do this.
Yeah, I mean, that made sense. And what's the other thing I want to ask? Was there any point where you were thinking about going back into Grave to check the last 2 locations, or were you like, that's the last thing I'm going to do?
Oh, no, that was 100% the last I was going to do, but that's why I went to 19. Like I said, I wanted to have a little bit of extra, 1, in case the DL fight went south, but 2, in case I did have to go out of Sharlock back to Grave, since I was hedging my bets on it being in Sharlock with my Flamesword grind.
Right, and I believe we have Bob Pineapple in chat too. GG, sir. It was a very well done race. It was tight almost up to the end there. What are your overall thoughts?
Yes, hello. Video games were a mistake. Thank you.
Accurate.
GGDK. That was... if anti-fun is a tangible concept, it was that seed.
I have to quasi agree with him for sure. Once I figured out where to grind, it actually wasn't terrible. It was still about an hour longer after the hour and 15 minutes from there, but that first hour and a half was terrible.
Yeah, there was no way for me to know where I was at any given time. I kept looking over at the clock and just going, you know what? DK's going to finish any time now and put me out of my misery. And then it passed an hour and a half, and 2 hours and 2.5 hours. And I was just like, well, I guess I'm going for this now.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, DK was able to find a zone in the far southwest of the continent that had armored knights that he was probably hurt moored over 50 of them or something. And that's what got his first part of the late game grind going until you both had healed more and settled into those red dragons in Swamp Cave.
Yeah, red dragons I wasn't happy about. I did not find that grind. I juggled back and forth between all sorts of different spots and just could not make up my mind because everything was so far away. As soon as I saw that we were on Vanilla Cantland start, I was like, "Oh, this is not going to be good."
So
we were both cackling.
Sorry, do you guys have any thoughts about the Demon Knights in this seed?
So the funny thing about them is the first couple of times I ran into one, I landed Hurtmores on them. And so in my brain, I was like, oh, well, maybe they're just like more susceptible to it. That turned out not to be the case, as I would find out later.
Yeah, I was wondering about that a little bit because you were throwing Hurtmores at everything. Like, I think there was a wizard at some point too, and I was just like, I think he just wants to try something because the grind just seems so slow throughout the entire thing.
And it was partially because I had run into like 2 Demon Knights super early, and I threw Hurtmores at them, and both of them landed, and so that information in my head ended up like, oh, maybe this isn't like purely vanilla stats or whatever, and I'm just like, so yeah, I started throwing Hurtmore at more things until eventually I realized, oh no, I just got real lucky, and that was all the luck I got.
I have no opinion on the Demon Knights. I did not try the Hurtmore on them, but they also wrecked my face a few times.
Yeah, they seem to be the big annoyance, at least for like the first third of the game, and then it was just all the Sharlock enemies all over. I think you were talking about luck, Bob. I think the point where I think we in the booth and in chat were all like, Bob's got a really good chance of getting this, was getting that armor and getting through that golem. What were you thinking after that? Because it seemed like you were maybe a little bit confused about what to do afterward.
Yeah, so that was the only. I mean, I found Hawksness, and I was like, I might as well go check the tile because I at that point I was like 95% sure the armor had to be there, right? Because I had checked for open Sharlock on my way down, which I saw, and then of course Fairy Flute had been a vanilla location, so it's a golem, and I was like, well, I have the Fairy Flute, but I'm basically just gonna be poking at it. I guess we'll see what happens, and then I crit to get it on the first go. And I picked it up, and then after that, I was like, well, I know it's open Sharlock, so it took me a few minutes to decide I'm going to skip everything else, and I'm going to just try and dive into Sharlock and hope it's short and that the sword is in there.
Yeah, and it was, although that first dive, you didn't quite get there, but it seemed like a decent grind zone. It's just so far away, and I think that's what kind of caused afterward, right? Because it just seemed like you couldn't pick where to go.
Yeah, it was that was so far away. I thought later on when I had the sword, I would go back and try the golems, which I did, and that didn't really work out. So I was just losing time on having to go to all these different spots on the map to figure out what the best possible grind up to Healmore was, and there just wasn't one. Well, there obviously was, but I never found it.
I was pretty upset
southwest corner.
Yeah, I was pretty upset about that golem though. When I got up there and I was within a swing, maybe 2, depending on what his HP was on that particular one. That made me pretty mad because I broke 100 damage on it before it finally killed me.
Honestly, of everything in this seed that like made me upset, I think probably the biggest thing was a mistake that I made, which was I gold grinded up to Flame Sword and Silver Shield money and then didn't save and died on the way up. And at that point, I think we were over an hour and a half into the seed, and I'll be honest with you, my brain like was it took a nap. It was on sabbatical for the rest of the seed, and I just didn't think to do it. And as soon as I died and went back, I realized what I had done, and it was not a great moment over here in BobPineappleMD's home. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, we understand. My brain would have been mush right along with yours. Thankfully, Silver Shield did roll into the summer sale, so you were still able to afford that. And finding Erdrick's sword shortly afterwards, the loss of Flame Sword did not do much to your overall pursuits.
Yeah, I was lucky on that. There was just a couple of times where it was, the exploration luck I knew was going to have to be a thing. We were going to have to be able to run from stuff. You couldn't leave Cantlin until we were basically in double-digit levels. And those types of seeds where it's just like, did you run into the right stuff? Did you run away from the right stuff? Did you manage to get somewhere without anything touching you? When it's such a long slog from the beginning to even just the first town. Like, when I got to Rimmelder and found all those keys, like, I didn't even feel good about it, because I was like, oh no, I have to make more choices now.
Right?
I do remember that, where you were going up against the blue dragon, and I'm like, I don't even think Bob cares if he dies to this guy. Like, that gives him... He doesn't have to decide whether or not to go back to Tantage. It makes the decision for him.
Actually, you know what? I take it back. The worst thing that happened was when I went to check the coordinates and I ran out of herbs one step away from safety on the damage tiles and had to die.
Oh gosh, yeah, that was like that and what you were talking about before. I forget what it was now, but there were like 3 or 4 moments where you paused quite a bit, or in that scenario, we're just hitting the talk button over and over, and it's like, Bob.
That was one of them.
I sure did. But all that aside, this being the longest seed, I think by far, in any of the rounds, in any of these, everything else in the finals, at least, in the playoffs, has been a super breeze. So I guess from the standpoint of spectators, I'm sure this was highly entertaining. I will say the tournament was highly entertaining overall. I had a blast. This is only my second tournament, so. Frankly, to finish second to as accomplished a runner as DK is there's no shame in that. And this actually really just taught me that I should have just let Angel win last week.
Ha 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 ha! Absolutely. Well, in any case, it'll go down in the record books that you persevered past Angel and all the others to make it to the finals, and will take a well-deserved second place. So take pride in that, good sir.
Well, I just wanted to say thanks to you guys for putting on this rebroadcast tonight, especially with the amount of time that was involved in it. For sure. Wanted to say thanks to Brian for putting this together and thinking of this, because Random Percent's been a blast. I've probably played the most Random Percent seeds of anybody. I've played so many offline or on non-race streams and such. So it's been a real blast. And I just thank everybody. Magru, as always, for getting the randomizer together and everything as well.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for all the work behind the scenes.
I think I speak for everyone when I say it's our pleasure. It's been great to watch both of you get through this tournament. I think you both got an automatic qualifier through the 5 weeks, and then I don't think either of you were in danger until that last, finishing in second place, like you were 1 and 2, so obviously one of you would have been on the cutting line there, but managed to both do very well in the playoffs to get here. So GG's to both of you. Just wonderful play throughout the entire tournament.
Now we got everybody get hyped for the summer tournament. Don't forget to join that.
Yeah,
right.
I signed up.
I signed up too.
I have completed a total of 3 seeds in my lifetime of Dragon Warrior Randomizer, and I'm like, sure, I'll sign up for a tournament.
Right, and as a recap for that, obviously the first thing to do would be to join the Discord, because you can find all the information there. But I believe the qualifying round, which is optional, ends and the 29th or the 27th of this month, and then we have group matches after that. So you don't have to do the qualifiers, but I think most people are going to because it's good practice. And you get one of those top 16 seeds, you might not have to play against, Bob or DK here.
Either of these guys. But yeah, that'll be run under standard flags. None of this random crazy nonsense. None of this vanilla grind till you're dead. But you might still have to grind some. Yeah, they'll be run. This is the summer standard tournament with standard flags, with very fast XP, random overworld, random chess items, and the kind of stuff you expect from Dragon Warrior Randomizer. As we take it back old school, we're going to learn and see who can triumph.
Absolutely. So any final words? I think you already said your part, DK. Do you have anything left to say, Bob?
Just great job to everybody who ran in the tournament. This was a lot of fun. Definitely sign up for summer. And GG again, DK. It's been a pleasure.
Alrighty, and as someone who has had one more tournament experience than you, Bob, it's been a pleasure to watch you do these tournaments and do really well. Anyway, looks like we are going to be rating Asmati Games here in just a moment. So on behalf of our team, Math Girl, our restreamer, Kamian, Renakai, and Malchior doing the tracking/commentary, I'm Aaron to you too. Thank you very much, and we will see you guys again very soon with the summer tournament.